Welcome everybody to today's stream. Hope you had a nice day so far. And let's have some fun in Guild Wars together and talk about some stuff. We actually had some balance adjustments just, I think, yesterday. Some hot fixes, because who would have thought we have some things that are not as intended with the latest balance patch. So, welcome. Hello. Hope you're all doing very well. And welcome, Crispy Gamer. Welcome. So I was like already when they I'm here on Catalyst or on Evoker rather, and I was already like when they reworked this specific trait, like specialized elements, I thought like, okay, this will be broken in PvE. And yeah, pretty much it was. Welcome, Fatty McCool. Welcome. This was like, for me, directly pretty clear that this is like, it can't stay like that. And the problem with this trait is, I mean, this is a bigger discussion, I have to be honest, but they nerfed this trait now. They nerfed this trait a bit in PvE in terms of like quickness output here. But the problem is that this trait here is essentially only working as well as it does right now because of Scepter. So you can see my Fire Scepter skills are insanely good. The auto attack is quite potent, but the 2 and the 3 skill are just crazy. And if you play pistol, if you play sword, if you play dagger main hand, or any two-handed weapon, it's just straight up worse this trait. So this is just a power grab trait, and they had to nerf this down if they wouldn't touch Scepter. And that's what they did. And this is a band-aid fix, I would say. But I was really hoping for, or I hope still, for a bigger change to like weapons on Elementalists so that you actually have a bit more choices and this trait actually being buffed again so that other weapons can shine as well. But who knows? This is just crazy that this build specifically was like as a quickness DPS build doing like 42k, 43k DPS before the patch yesterday. That's insane. Absolutely insane. But yeah, that's I guess just like, I guess Evoker somewhat in a nutshell. Just Evoker in a nutshell. Always broken in one direction or the other. But yeah, as usual, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. And later we will have a raid training here live on stream as well. So I guess that will be hopefully entertaining to watch and also hopefully somewhat like sharing some knowledge as well. But yeah, I'm excited to see the changes that are like happening over the next weeks. And maybe there will be some more balance adjustments, but I think this is like, seems like they are quite happy with the current balance. So we will see. Maybe we play some Evoker today on stream. But for now, let's see. But yeah, as usual, comments, questions, everything, always welcome. Just let me know. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about when we're already up at the balance, I'm really sad they nerfed this one specific trait. When was it? In Arcane. In Arcane, you were running previously on Elementalist, on Evoker. In the best setup, like 47k DPS, you were running those 3 traits, which is really funny because this is like a rather PvP-centric setup with Evasive Arcana and Final Shielding. And the crazy part here is that they actually really nerfed this in PvE because this was such a cool trait. It gives you on dodge an attack, and this attack actually counted towards the Evoker attack. So it charged your Evoker familiar if you did it in the correct attunement. It charged it even twice, which is really crazy and makes it like a really interesting theory craft. Sadly, they nerfed this, so now it doesn't do that anymore, which is, in my opinion, a little bit sad because I think that was a really cool like theory crafting and like changing your build around. Now it's definitely worse. Before it like now you run like just some power traits because you have nothing better to take, which is a bit sad. But I can understand why they did it. I think like interactions like this are so crazy in a game as big as Guild Wars 2 when it comes to game balance and just like the 4 elite specs for every class. It's hard. It's really hard to find traits and interactions on your testing server as the devs that everything works perfectly as you intended to. So I think it makes sense to nerf some stuff. But I don't know. I think it was really fun. I think it would have been nicer to just make it possible, but maybe nerf the damage, maybe nerf the cooldown, something like that. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times like removing the fun element is not the good aspect. You know, you want to have traits and stuff, interactions and balancing being fun but balanced at the same time. Removing something that you cannot balance that easily, even though it was really fun, is in my opinion a really bad thing to do. In this specific case, I can understand that they did it, but I was really hoping for like just some damage adjustments. And like I said, I think the big outlier here is not necessarily Evoker. Evoker just brings it to the top and really lets it shine, so to say, but Scepter is the big outlier. Like whenever you see someone on Elementalist playing Scepter, it's just because it's the best weapon typically. It's not necessarily because it's the most fun weapon, and I think that could be addressed like quite easily. I don't know what you think about Elementalist weapons and stuff like that, but I think you have a lot of options, but a lot of them are just inferior in like objectively to Scepter, and especially on Evoker if you're specialized elements one. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the changes that they did yesterday, which are like just I think 3 changes in total, they were really just targeting Evoker and just band-aid fixes. I would kindly ask him not to ruin my quali, buff other weapons instead. Yeah, I think it's... I'm with you there, Fatty McCool, that I actually think that nerfing stuff down just to bring it in line with the other weapons is not necessarily a good thing if the other weapons are on a level where I would say they are not as fun as like Scepter is, for example. I think with the current power creep, that might be a hot take, but I think maybe Elementalist Scepter is the baseline. Maybe everything else should be buffed to this level. Because looking at main hand dagger, you only used it as a support weapon, even though it has like essentially, I don't know, 60-70% of its kit is not supportive by nature. So I think this could be buffed in terms of damage output. Then you have sword, which is like the Weaver main weapon, and you use it in like 1 or 2 builds as a main hand weapon, and only because you don't want to run specifically pistol or scepter in those builds. So it's a little bit like, okay, there is some room for improvement to the other weapons, and I'm actually with you there. I think like buffing buffing all the weapons to the level of Scepter would actually probably be more interesting for the whole community than nerfing Scepter down. Because nerfing the overperforming weapon will make the whole class less attractive. Buffing all the weapons up, just maybe a bitch, you know, not everything has to be like crazy overtuned. But like pistol, for example, is already quite good on Condi builds, so give it a little bit more, and people would run it over Scepter if Scepter would still stay somewhat interesting, but not as good as pistol in Condi setups, for example. Just give both of them an option, and you choose what you like better. That would be awesome. For pistol and Scepter, it's pretty close already, but like I said, dagger, main hand, and sword, those are pretty weak compared to Scepter, sadly, because Scepter is also range. There are so many things to consider there. But yeah, as usual, that is just my opinion. Let me know yours if you agree with this or not. But I think this is something that needs to be like looked at, and I think they are aware of it. That's the good part. They are aware of it because they actually at least hinted at it and teased it a bit in the blog post or the balance patch preview. They hinted a bit at it and said Scepter they are aware of Scepter being so to say the only crazy good weapon on Elementalist, and they want to address it one way or the other. Let's see what they mean with that exactly. What's actually going on? I mean, if we don't get the people like fast enough, I actually am not sure if I can stick for the whole run here. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, this is just my thoughts on the balance right now. I think the next balance patch, if it stays like the current schedule, it should be like, let's think, it was in April. So the next is probably 3 months away, so that would be in July. So right before the last patch in August for Visions of Eternity, something like that. So it's quite a while away, so we will probably stick with this balance. What's your favorite elite spec for Elementalist? Good question, Nox, good question. So I personally play a lot of Evoker right now in all game modes because it's the newest one. And I played a lot of Elementalist. It's probably my second most played class, if I would sum up all my characters. So I would say right now I play the most Evoker because it's just new and somewhat new, and I played it quite a lot. Other than that, I would say if you look at the whole time span of the game, I would probably have said Tempest. I really love Support Tempest. I think Support Tempest is one of my most played classes across all game modes because it's like just flexible, it has a really clear class fantasy, it's fun to play, I don't know, it has a really good feel to it. That's probably my most favorite spec from Elementalist in the current balance and how it was over the last few years. there was a time where Weaver was extremely good, and that was a time where I played a lot of Weaver. But over the course of the whole game, I think Tempest was my favorite spec. Yeah. Sorry for the long answer here, but I think that sums it up. I would say mostly. Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I think like all Elementalist specs have some interesting things to them and some interesting aspects why I play them. I play all of them. But over the course of time, I think Tempest is probably the one that is the closest to my heart for now. Yeah. I mean, what's yours? What is your thoughts? Are you completely agreeing with me or completely disagreeing or somewhere in the middle? Because I know like Elementalist, sorry for the pun here, is a hot topic. You know, some people hate Evoker and Catalyst because they just essentially add one more button. Some people say it's a completely different playstyle and they love it. And some people say Tempest is the only good Elementalist lead spec. I don't know. I think they're like everyone has a different opinion there. So what is yours there, Nox? What is yours there? But yeah, I think you should always like think about it, especially if you listen to this as a new player. Choose the one that you like. Don't listen to anybody else. Choose the one that you like the look of and stuff like that. That should be the best across probably all decisions that you make in Guild Wars 2. Choose the thing that looks the best for you, for your playstyle and stuff like that. Core, yeah, exactly. You could also play Core like Fatty McCool does. That's completely fine as well. I would say that's the biggest, like so to say, the biggest niche build you could play. Not necessarily a bad build, but I would say it's definitely niche, especially if you look at, for example, playing supports, then don't play, please don't play Core. But if you play DPS, that's fine. Yeah, that is fine. Fire camping Weaver? Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting concept. I mean, it's a little bit against the concept of Weaver, which wants to weave elements together and then you just use one. But I think if that works, if that has some theory crafting behind it, oh my god, I have to be honest, I think that's not gonna happen. Our commander is completely unhinged and kicking all the people. I'm not sure. That's crazy. I wanted to just get like a quick Ice Blue Saga 5 strike mission run while streaming and having some fun and talking here, but apparently the commander is not really into that. Let me quickly get a different group, I guess. That's crazy. Welcome, hi Bangy. Welcome. Catalyst for me, I think Elementalist Hammer is one of the most fun weapons in the game. Yeah, it's quite interesting, the weapon. It's sadly not as good in PvE as it like once was, or in general, like Hammer is more a competitive mode weapon, but if you like the weapon itself, I guess it's quite a cool weapon for sure. I guess we can do the DPS here for that. That's good. Let's go for that. Reaper is my main, but I have an alt Elementalist and I want to play Evoker with some, since DPS is good dispatch. Yeah, Evoker is a really good class for Elementalist or spec for Elementalist to start with. It's pretty straightforward for Elementalist players compared to Weaver and stuff like that. And I would say it's also quite fun. I mean, not everybody would agree, but I personally think it's actually a rather fun spec. So if you like the class fantasy, sure, give it a try. And coming from Reaper, it will probably be a bit more squishy and stuff like that, but don't worry, you know, you will get to know it and stuff, so just try it, it's fun, yeah, for sure. The Tribulations mode was definitely made by a demonic entity in the festival. Yeah, I'm really bad at jumping passes, so I never judge if it's really hard or not, but I can tell you I played this game for over a decade, and one of the things that I struggle the most with is jumping puzzles, and then on top of that, this festival is like, for me, like, Tribulations mode, I barely touch it. It's just like, I barely touch it, yeah. This is on EU right now. This is on EU. I will do some raid trainings on NA. I actually wanted to do one this week, but apparently we didn't find enough people. So if you're interested in raid trainings, just join my Discord. I'm always looking for more trainees and stuff, but in general, we also do, of course, some stuff in the LFG and pugging scene and stuff together, like usual. It's just what I do here on stream, just talking about balance and having some fun in the chaos of the pugging scene. Yeah. What's the best high damage 1v1 class? Depends a bit on the game mode. You know, you can be one-on-one-ing in PvP, you can be one-on-one-ing in in World versus World. So it's depending a bit on the situation. But I think like if you look at the whole class, one of the best classes for one-on-ones always has been is Warrior, and it's still a good class. It's not necessarily always the best depending on the matchup. But I would say for me, probably if you like the whole class and want to have the best one-on-one idea, I think one of the best one-on-one classes is just, you have no healer, I guess. I don't know. Is probably Warrior. Yeah, it's not like the absolute top tier if you look at specific elite specs, but if you want to look at the whole class, holy moly, what is going on here? It's definitely, I think, a top tier class for one-on-ones. But I think the one-on-one meta in Guild Wars 2 is really weird. It like with the last few expansions, we had a lot of new elite specs, but not a lot of them are actually like that. Holy moly, I don't know. This seems really skewed. I have to be honest. We have no damage. I don't know. This is like a pretty bad group, sadly. Welcome, welcome. No problem. Welcome, welcome to the chat. Hope you all had a nice day. And as usual, classic Pack Chaos here, Nice Brute Saga strike missions. You would or raids, whatever you want to call them. You would imagine like after years of them being out, people actually don't have a problem with them anymore. But apparently, the chains still kill people. I mean, I'm not flaming or anything, just noticing, you know, how many people are going downstat here. It's crazy. At least I have my quickness. You know, that's okay. That's okay. Are you doing live sketches? Yes, I will do that. So I will do that always. So if you have just some questions, just let me know when you have time and I can do that. Yes. How does it feel after the adjustments? So I think, to be honest, the adjustments are actually pretty like solid. I don't feel like that being like any negative effects for me personally. I think everything worked out as they wanted it to be, and I think that's exactly how it should be. I would say some of the fractal CMs are a bit like, what? They are so fast now, but I guess that's okay. Like better something being extremely fast than something being extremely slow. Oh my god, I will get CC'd here. Oh no. At least I got a stun break. Nice. But yeah, I think, like, to be honest, after the patch, I'm pretty happy with pretty much every spec. Yeah, at least the ones that I tried, and I tried most of them. So I think the only one that was a standout was like Evoker, and that one got nerfed quite a bit, or not quite a bit, but got nerfed a bit yesterday. So I guess that's fine. I mean, it needed that. It was so overperforming, especially the quickness build, like 43k as a quickness build. That's pretty insane. They made it a bit like more in line. It's still insane. Don't get me wrong. It's still insane. This is such a skewed group, I have to be honest. Absolutely insane. Welcome, Saudi Alice. Welcome. Hot take, we need another nerf patch. To be honest, like that there is a big argument for that. I mean, I don't want to be like the toxic elitist or something and saying the game is too easy, but I think like if you look at Heart of Thorns balance and stuff like that, and compared to now, I still think there is some arguments for making the game a bit like less like crazy overloaded. I think especially like the supports are insane. I think DPS, they tune it down a bit, but I think especially supports are like insane. Yeah. Best way to start raids, go to quick play? I would say so for the most part. I think for the most part, starting with quick play is okay, but you should probably, if you want to get really hard in raids and like doing all the challenge mods and stuff, you should probably start looking for Discord servers like Right Training Initiative and Crossroads and stuff like that. Yeah. Celestial builds feel insane after the patch. I think like they did not get hit almost at all. And if you like playing Celestial, it's insanely good like after the patch. And it was before, but even now, like even better now, I would say. Yeah. Do you recommend melee or range builds for newbies to raids? I would say like range builds are the safer options, but you could like, this is a bad group to showcase, but hopefully later in the raid training that we will do, you will see that it doesn't matter if you're playing a ranged or melee build. In Guild Wars 2, you still stack on top of each other, because typically that's just the most efficient way of doing it. So for me personally, I would say if you are safer with range, go for that. But in a lot of situations, melee builds and range builds in Guild Wars 2 play almost exactly the same. Yeah. What would you suggest for someone that wants to do everything? I want everything at max level, but having a problem picking a one-trick pony. I think like typically you should not care about the elite specs too much. You should more care about the class. What can the class do? And one of the best things you can is like Mesmer or Guardian. Those two classes are insanely flexible and can do everything at high level perfectly fine. If you want to play one elite spec only, that's a bit tougher, but I think there are some that can still do that. For example, Chronomancer is extremely well versed across the whole game and all game modes and all endgame content. I would say like Luminary is really good for that. There are a lot of classes that can do that, but I think some elite specs shine a bit more than others. But like I said, I think you should maybe focus more on the classes, which would be Guardian and Mesmer. Yeah, those two would be my topics. This is horrible. I'm a bit... I don't know, maybe we should take a look at the boons. No, the boons are not like... I mean, the alacrity in the second subgroup is not good, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know. That feels like pretty scuffed. Pretty scuffed. Feels like we have like 4 healers or something. It's okay. It's okay. How's Gayshot right now? I'm a little bit sad. Gayshot is still good, but it's not like as good as Soul Beast and as Untamed in my opinion. It's like a decent build, and you will see that with my upcoming DPS tier list. But it's just not living up to what it could be in my opinion. It could be so much better, sadly. I'm really a bit sad. I was really like on the Gayshot hype train when it came out, but I feel like Soul Beast and like Untamed, they are still in a lot of cases just straight up superior, sadly. Really sadly, yeah. Welcome, Loopy, welcome. I kind of was predicting that Celestial would get better. Yeah, I think Celestial is like just in the like aftermath of everything else getting nerfed. Celestial just didn't get hit that much, or not at all, depending on what build you were playing, and that just increased its level. But I think it was always like extremely valuable. Like especially if I played support now in Ice Root Saga Strike missions, I would always go for Celestial, and I would be like here on the like 6th spot or something. Celestial is really underrated, and especially like Tempest, Scourge, Firebrand, even the Berserker build that I posted today on my YouTube channel. Those builds have crazy amounts of support output, like with boons, with healing, while they do so much damage. Like Celestial is such an underrated stat in group play specifically. I think in like solo play, everyone knows Celestial extremely good, but in group play, it's also really good. Really, really is. Yeah, I'm sorry, OKDC. I mean, I don't want to be mean or something. I just like to see how much damage I do and how my rotation turns out. So I'm not flaming this group at all. I just want to see how much I do, and I'm notice that this is not the best DPS of the group. I'm not saying anything negative. It's just a stating a fact here. Yeah, it's just stating a fact. You know, I would wish they do more damage than me. I really wish they would be faster to clear, but doesn't look that way. Doesn't look that way. And I think that will also not really increase right now in this specific case here, because this is like pretty good spot for Power Virtuoso here. Will be also quite interesting, I have to be honest, later on Bone Skinner, but we will see, we will see. Activist a bit still bugged for me? Yeah, maybe you're right, maybe it's still a bit buggy. Could be the case as well for me. Yeah, Celestial healers are nuts. That's what I said earlier. I think we need another nerf patch of stuff that is too crazy good in support. I think the support output is the bigger problem for a lot of cases. I think the DPS output, sure, we have crazy DPS, but like the support elements, like you can play a Celestial support that does all the boons and does 20k DPS. Like what is that? That is just insane. You know, if you would have told that anybody in 2016 when Heart of Thorns came out, they would have laughed at you and have said, yeah, sure, keep dreaming, yeah. This is definitely like just insanity. But I mean, I'm not like necessarily against it. It's fun to play. I'm just saying maybe that's not the healthiest decision for the future of the game, but who knows? Played Celestial Firebrand for a while. Really like it. Not the most heal output, but a lot of utility. Yeah. I think if you know when to save and how to use your heals, so for example, if you run the dodge trade that heals, if you run your F2 and use that heals them really nicely and pair them up. You have a decent burst heal, but you're right, it's not the best healer output, especially as a Celestial build. But I think it's fine enough to be played in like 80 to 90% of the scenarios. I really think so. You just have to know when not to play it, because otherwise your party might actually suffer. Yes. They need to remove concentration and expertise from Celestial again. They won't, because they need it on the default exotic gear to get, but it's still ridiculous. Yeah, I think that is one of the reasons why Celestial is so good, because you essentially, if you run full Harrier's gear, you get a little bit more. No, do you even get more? A little bit more, I think, concentration than if you go for 34 here. And if I go for Celestial, I get 22. So I get 12 more concentration on this specific piece, which is, yeah, noticeable. It's like pretty much half, 50% more. But most of the time you don't need it, because you overcap on your boons anyway so crazy. Plus you get all the other stats. It's pretty much insane. That's why they removed Celestial, like concentration and expertise in World vs. World specifically. And even then it's still extremely good. That's the crazy part. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that is a crazy thing. How long do raids usually take to finish? I mean, depending on the raid boss. If you're a really fast group, something between like 2 to 10 minutes, that's typically what you would say for one raid encounter boss, whatever. If you do all of them, yours should be done in like 2 to 2.5 hours if you're really fast. Yeah, something like that. Did they nerf Elementalist Scepter yesterday? No, Scepter is insanely good and nothing changed for Scepter. Welcome, Freeman, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And welcome, Alpha Hydra, welcome, welcome. I was thinking on trying Vindicator due to nice class fantasy. However, I saw feedback that the spec is a bit bad in general. What are your thoughts? I would say if you play it specifically in PvE, it's a good spec. Like, don't worry too much. It's a good spec. It is not the best. That is true, and probably everybody would agree. But it's a good spec and it's a fun spec. If you play it in competitive modes, it is more of a niche spec. It has some power damage build. It has some healer builds. But in PvE, I would say it's outclassed, but still good. You will not grieve your group by playing it. If you like class fantasy, go for it. It's awesome. Yeah, I would say. Yeah. Celestial is insane. Celestial is just insane stat. Like, that sums it up pretty much, yeah, for everyone. Best power DPS and boon DPS after the patch? It depends a bit on what you define as best. The highest benchmark numbers are currently from Evoker, which is not a power build, but it's a Condi build. Best power DPS build, I think it's maybe like Power Berserker with 44k, as far as I know, something like that. But this is just what I know at the moment. I will do a tier list this week, 100% this week. We will see when it actually comes out, when I have all the data gathered and stuff like that. But then you will see, and I will give you the 100% correct answer. But I think it's Power Berserker right now. And other than that, for boon DPS builds, I think right now one of the best boon DPS builds. Let me think. What is the best boon DPS build? Yeah, it might be Evoker, of course. Like Condition Evoker is still really good. It's still one of the highest ones. Yeah, I think it's still 40k plus, something like that, on Condition Quickness Evoker. Yeah. So there are multiple Berserker builds, Power Berserker builds. I think all of them bench really, really high. I think even the Condi Berserker bench is really, really high. I think Berserker is probably one of the best, like, try-hard endgame full DPS builds you can play. It's not, I would say, always the best option though, because it has some limitations. You know, it's sometimes you lose the Berserk mode, which can be really, really annoying, of course, because after all, you want to stay in Berserk mode all the time, and if there's a phase, you cannot do that. Stuff like that. But I think it's like, it doesn't matter if you run a specific mace build or something. Greatsword is also there, and I think even Spear is really good. I think Hammer is a little bit worse, I think, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. What I want is a tier list, mate, but of a poor man's tier list, what is usable with same gear and raids and open world, not PvP or world versus world. But like easy stuff. That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. The thing is, what is cheap gear for you? You know, or do you just want to have a tier list that is specifically tailored towards one gear set for every single encounter and stuff? Because then Celestial is your go-to for, like, for example, Firebrand, Tempest, Scourge, stuff like that. You just play Celestial in open world, you play Celestial in like raids, and you will be completely fine. But I guess I could make a full tier list out of that. Yeah, interesting idea, interesting. Yeah, waiting for the tier list. I'm also waiting. I'm like already like prepared, you know, I have like already like a half script written what I want to say for each of the specs. I'm still missing some of the, so to say, final benchmarks, because I'm obviously not able to bench every single spec on my own. So I need to to get the data from Snowcross, for example, and get maybe some cool theory crafting and stuff like that. And when I have every single piece in place, then I will do a tier list, because I want to give you the most up-to-date and full comprehensive view on the situation. That's the whole idea here. Berserker, Celestial Viper, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's probably the best. I think nowadays Viper is not even like... I think a lot of times just going for full Berserker will lead you to like almost like, I don't know, 60% of the builds just run full Berserker and you will be completely fine. I guess maybe that's just my view, because I prefer a lot of times power builds in a lot of situations, because they are just more bursty, and a lot of content that I do, you don't need to stay there for like 10 minutes on the same fight. But maybe that's just me. But I guess those three stats are probably the best, yeah. This is taking so long. And it's not because of the damage decrease. I want to make that clear here. It's not because of the damage decrease. It's like this is really crazy. Normally I don't feel that way when I do like strike missions and stuff like that. That it feels like a little bit slow and stuff, especially if I play DPS. But right now it feels like, oh my god, where is the damage? Where has the damage gone? It's fine. It's fine. I just, you know, today is the only day where I'm actually a little bit on a time limit, because I want to be there when my raid training starts, obviously on time. I don't want to be the only person being too late. Not a good showing, but it's fine. I think we will make it. This is the last boss, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the last boss. That's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. But we did it, I think. We did it. Slowly but surely we made it. Yeah, the damage is yeah, I know, I can check, of course, I can check. There we go, we did it. We did it. I'm stuck with open world and story and haven't tried Strikes of Fractals. What degree are people expected to know encounters, and to what degree are people expected to perform compared to guides? I would say if you watch the YouTube guide, like I'm not joking, if you watch the YouTube guide, then for a specific encounter, then you are probably already better than 70% of the people that play it the first time. I really think if you watch the guide about the fractal encounter, whatever you go for, that is good enough. Like really, I would say that's what I would go for. So give me a second to set up the raid training. There we go. They didn't touch the Power Virtuoso? No, Power Virtuoso, they changed some things with the damage output, but in general, like the patch yesterday, nothing changed. Like, it was really like, the patch yesterday was just addressing Evoker, and before that, Power Virtuoso was like barely touched. Power Virtuoso, I think right now at 42k or 43k, something like that. It's really good. Really, really good. This is on EU right now. If we find enough people on NA in our Discord server and people sign up for the raid content that I want to do and training and stuff like that, we will do that as well at some point. I was actually going for one this week, but not enough people showed up. Yes. Welcome, Buddha. Welcome, welcome. I'm playing Conti Harbinger all day. I'm loving the gameplay. Perfect. That's what we like to hear. Perfect. Okay, let's join the Discord. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome. So just for the chat's information and the people in chat, I will talk to both parties, but you cannot hear the Discord, just that you know. And you can speak freely if you have any questions. If you want to join on my Discord server, you can always, it's always in the description of the YouTube stream, in the description of my YouTube videos, it's in the description of my Twitch chat. There should be, like, you should find it, it's always linked, my Discord server. But yeah. So just join the party, the group. I posted in the trainings chat. And if you can always, of course, write the role that you want to fill or that you are assigned to. It's even better, of course. And we start with Kern, as promised. As a new player, should I first play Condi Untamed because of the Celestial gear? I mean, this is a good way to start out. As in general, Celestial on Ranger, one of the best users is Condi Untamed, sure. I would be careful though, if you play too much Condi Untamed, you get a bit like sluggish in the brain, because this is like one of the best solo builds out there. And you will not be able to play that in a like a party, in a group, because that's just not really a good build, sadly. But for open world, it's insanely good. Yeah, good starting point for sure. Good starting point. Okay, so let's assign the parties as we wanted. I have 2 leg DPS, very good. And we need Patricia on the healer, exactly, who is the last one. And very good, very good. So everyone can follow me. Patricia, maybe stay here and activate Clanner if we are ready. Thanks, perfect. Just that I can explain and put the markers down. I think we need 1 more player. Let's see if we get them. Still have 1 more minute to join. And if they don't make it, I think in the Discord, how many people are on the Discord? I wrote it in the trainings chat, how you can join. Just copy the thing that I posted there and in the Guild Wars 2 chat, and you will be invited to the squad. So should work. Okay, I will slowly start explaining the boss. You can listen anyway, it doesn't matter if you're here already or not. So this boss is really easy. Essentially it has 3 mechanics, and one of the most important mechanics in this whole boss fight is that you stack on the tech. So please stand where I stand all the time. If you don't have a special mechanic that I will get to later. But this is boss, you can essentially negate almost all the attacks it does if you stack on top of each other inside this circle that you can see here. If you stack inside the circle, if you cannot see it on your screen, perfect, you made it, very good. If you cannot see that circle, you can adjust your graphic options, and it's the shaders option here. If you change the shaders here to low, the circle will disappear. If you go to medium or high, you will see the circle in the middle here. And if you stand inside this circle in the arena here, you will be able to avoid its auto attack, you avoid some other attacks, and it's just safer here, and you deal more damage because it's melee range. So just stand here, everything is good. Other than that, you will see 2 mechanics that need you to spread out. The first one is if you get a red border around your screen and you get a red circle around your character, that means you will deal damage to characters of allied players standing on top of you. Sorry, what? Okay, I think that was not directed at me. And so if you see a red circle across your character, you should move out of the group. And that's why I made those like markers here. The arrow, the circle, and the heart. If you have those, you should move, or if you have one red circle, you should move to one of the arrows. If there is already one person standing, you go to the other one. Just that you are not stacking on top of each other, but because it will deal more damage the more people are standing inside it. So just avoid standing on top of each other. If you have that, I will try to heal you nonetheless. Just try to stay in the circle in the middle and you will be fine. The other mechanic is exactly like on Veil Guardian, where those blue circles spawn. So where you stand in those like attacks, you will get teleported randomly across the arena. This can be deadly here because you will get teleported away from the healers. You might get teleported into an attack of the boss. So if you see your, so to say, border of the screen glow up in yellow, I think it is, then you should move out of the circle or out of the attack that you see. It can be a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of visual clutter, but you will also, I think, get some kind of audio cue where you can hear if you are standing in it or not. So if you have the music turned on or the in-game sounds, then you should hear that. But other than that, just try to avoid, if you see a yellow light around your border of your screen, you should move out of it. Just dodge or move out. It explodes or teleports you after like a 2-second delay or something. So those two things are the only times where you have to move in this encounter in normal mode, specifically in normal mode. Because in normal mode, there will be a green attack that is exactly like in Guardian again, where you have to stand on top of each other in the greens to avoid some petrifying, it is called. So you will get some stacks and you will be moving slower. But in normal mode, you can negate this attack somewhat by having stability. In challenge mode, you should stand in the greens, but we are not doing challenge mode, so we stack on top of each other. You just damage the boss, and I will provide stability, and Patricia will do the same, and we will just be able to hit the boss and ignore everything else. We just focus on the boss. We focus on moving out of the yellow borders attack, and we focus on, if we get a red AoE on top of us, we will just get the person with the red AoE moving out of the group and waiting until it disappears to come back. That's the whole thing. Are there any questions so far? Just, if I was too fast, if I explained something badly, just ask. Yes, I will try to call out when a specific attack is happening and what you should do, but of course I cannot promise you that I will catch every single attack because I focus on healing, I focus on shout calling at the same time, so at some point I may miss something, but I will try to do that, yes. And one more important aspect here, I think we don't have that many things, but we have a scrapper here. So the scrapper has, if you're playing power scrapper, you have the 2 skill on hammer. And this is a reflect that goes for all reflects, but hammer specifically on scrapper, you use that in your rotation. Be careful with this attack, because the boss will do a ranged attack that throws projectiles at us. And if you do a reflect at exactly this time, you will reflect this attack and it will hit us for whatever reason still. So this will completely screw us all over, because normally it doesn't hit us, but if you reflected this, for whatever reason, it will hit us. So just try to be careful when the boss is doing attacks that throws out projectiles. I know it's hard to do as a scrapper, but then you should probably play it safe and don't use the 2 skill. Yeah, that goes for all reflects, but especially if you use it into rotation. That's why, for example, power soul beasts are a no-go here on this fight, because they have a really long channeled reflect with the X5 skill and stuff like that. But typically this fight favors Condi builds. That's one of the rare fights where Condi builds are a bit better, because this doesn't have phases and the boss jumps around, and that means that you cannot stay in melee range all the time. But other than that, I think we will just try it if there are no questions, and you will see that this boss fight is actually not that hard. Yeah. No, I think we should do it normally as like in pack groups, because what Patricia wants to do is like baiting the agony, so that we, as the healers, get the agony, the negative attack, and we move out of the group. But in normal pack groups, so if you just get random people, they will never do that. If you, at least I did not often get that people actually did that. So you should be able to do it even if you're a DPS player. Just see, okay, I got a red circle around me, move out of the group. My healers should be able to provide healing and boons to me still, and I should know what to do. So now the important part here is, if you do it like we do, Patricia talked to the Glenna NPC, and that started her to move towards the platform. As soon as she appears on the platform or next to the platform, the boss will spawn. This only works in the first time we do it. And when we are, so to say, dying or whatever, then we will just have the boss like normal. Move out of this attack that we just had, because this is the teleport. Yep, that's okay. Some people got teleported, just try to come back. That's fine, I will get some reses here. But this is the attack where the bottom of the floor close, like in this cosmic attack pattern or something, and you just sidestep it. You don't even have to dodge it, just sidestep it and be fine. And other than that, just try to, you can also like theoretically block it and stuff like that, or invuln it or whatever, yeah. So there are multiple ways to deal with this attack. Just try to make sure that you are stacking on top of each other. If we don't get the kill here, that's not a problem. I just wanted to show some of the attacks that you are actually able to know what is actually going on. So here you would go in the greens, but we're having stability, so we can just ignore all of this. So this is the thing. If you have the red AoE, just move out of the group, please. And if you get teleported back or whatever, you can always use the special action key. Sorry, I didn't explain that one. Should have done it probably. This special action key will just lets you rush to the boss or wherever you want to rush. This is a really, really nice attack and can help you a lot by just getting to somewhere where you need it to be. So try to stack on top of each other if you can, on top of me, except for the red guys, the people with the red AoEs. And you can come closer. That's really important. You should probably come as close as you can. Like I said, go to the arrow, heart, and stuff like that, because this will allow you to not get hit by all the boss's attacks. And you're doing fine. Yeah, you see how easy this boss fight is. You know, just typically you want to stack on top of each other. Just make sure to get the healing. And careful, I got you there. Yep, looks good, looks good. But like I said, just try to stack on top of each other. Now you don't stack on me, please, because I have the attack that lets you, so to say, get hurt if you stack on me. But it's fine. We already have like 15% only. Very good, very good. And this boss is really not hard. You can see, just listen to the cues of the, or like the yellow border, and there we go. Not a big deal. The damage spread of our people here was completely unhinged, so just wanted to point it out that this boss fight is really about, like, you don't need to dodge any of its attacks. It's really about the knowledge of sidestepping attacks, of standing where I was standing here in the middle. Yeah, just try to stand inside the circle and at all times, and if you get a red, move to one of the positions away from the party. And if you get hit by whatever attack, if you want to get any greens, whatever you want to do, use the special action key. That's pretty much the whole boss fight. And that's why you can see that people that play DPS builds here and know the fight can deal huge amounts of damage on this boss fight, because it's essentially a golem that teleports sometimes. That's pretty much it. If you get hit by all the attacks and you just don't know how to avoid them, then your damage will be abysmal. And it's not a problem to have that in a training, don't get me wrong, I just want to point it out here that this fight is one of the easiest raid boss fights, that's why we were so fast. I can see the DPS because I have an add-on installed that's called Arc DPS. And I don't want to actually, like, to be honest, I don't want to even show that, because it doesn't matter in a training. I'm just saying here, this boss is one of the bosses where you can just play, and if you know, slowly get more knowledge about the fight, you will notice how much better your DPS will be in the end. Yeah, you did very good, everyone. Like, congrats, that was very clean, to be honest. Like, no one died for the first time, and I didn't even explain the special action key, that was on me. So, good job, everyone. Like, really good. Are there any questions for this fight? Welcome, Snowdrop. Welcome, welcome. I mean, don't be shy. You know, you saw now the attacks. Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty impressive first kill for a lot of, like, training runs. I would say this is a more chaotic fight. Even in pack groups, I had way more chaotic fights than this one. And you were new to this fight. And I had some people that did this boss 50 times before and it was more chaotic. So, really nice. Like, really good. But like I said, this is in normal mode, where you ignore the greens. In challenge mode, just to explain it a bit more, you have to use the special action key and you have to go in the greens. Those two things will be added on challenge mode, which you don't necessarily have to do in normal mode. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Exactly. Exactly. It's the greens. The greens have an indicator on top that is some kind of like white balls or something, like stars or something, that tell you how many people have to be at least in this green. So if there are 4 white glowing things, that means that you have to, oops, exactly, that you have to have 4 people at least in the green. Otherwise, it will just be not happening, not doing its thing. So this is the only mechanic with the greens that is a little bit different than, for example, Veil Guardian greens, where you have to have always 5 people in there. For this fight, you have to have, sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4, but this is the only thing. And this is what you have to do in challenge mode, but it's actually not that hard because you have the special action key, which can essentially act like a dash across the whole platform. And you just dash in the greens whenever they spawn. And if everybody goes to, or most of the people go to the same one, everything is fine. In normal mode, you ignore this mechanic because it just gives stability and it's fine. In challenge mode, it's not that easy. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to do the normal mode because challenge mode, like I noticed with KCCM, it's oftentimes you should slowly start and maybe we go in for challenge mode next time. But for now, good job, everyone. Yeah, it is. It's just a weird mechanic, but it's fine. So let's continue. Let's go to the next boss. We have to move on in this direction. I'm so confused. Very good. And the next one is, to be honest, we need 3 people. 3 people need to know what they are doing in the next fight. That's it. And I will explain all 3 of the mechanics, and we will do one time where no of the experienced people, so not Patricia, not me, and any of the other experienced people will do the mechanics. We will do one time, or at least one time, where some trainees do all 3 of the specific mechanics. Because you will need to do them at some point in your life if you want to do more raids. Because they are not hard at all. You just need to know how to deal with them. And if always the people that are experienced do them, you will never learn how to do them. So that's why it's the perfect time to actually learn it in a training run. So I will explain them, and if I get some volunteers for each of them, perfect. If not, also not a big deal. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I can recommend to try it here because it's really not hard. And if you did it once, you will see that it's actually something that I can tell you in 2 sentences how to deal with it. Okay, so let's first get to the wall here. We have to get a shovel and open the barricade. Not too bad. Just some roleplay here. So the shovel is where I'm going, and then you can use a portal to teleport back. And there we go, there's the portal. And you can shovel your way with the one attack on the shovel here. And just get the stones out of the way. And typically if you have people that can provide alacrity, it can go even faster, but it doesn't matter. Now you did, you saw it, that's how it goes. Other than that, I mean, I don't even know what to do here because it doesn't really matter. So you see here now this pattern of tiles on the floor. This is the main boss arena. It's not a circle as usual. It's a like 4x4 chess board, something like that. And you can see the right side of the chessboard is lit up in yellow. And the left side is normal. The yellow parts will damage you. You can block this attack. You can also distort it and whatever, but if you get damaged here, it will take you will take some damage. It's not insane, but over the course of time it will add up. If you get the first thing, which is called here claim, this attack lets you claim a tile to remove its damaging effect and make it not damaging at all anymore. So this is the first attack, really straightforward. You will just get a special action key that lets you remove the damaging effect of the tile. That's it. The thing is, if you get the claim, you will also be the tank of this boss. This boss itself doesn't do any damage. Like, it has a damaging aura, but the tank itself, you just have to have the claim, and you have to stand where the group should stand, and the boss comes to you. That's the only thing. It will not deal damage to you, so you can do it as a full DPS build. Typically, you do it still as, like, for example, a Chronomancer or something like that, but it doesn't really matter. Anyone can do that. Important part here is the claim attack has a 5-second cooldown, I think. So you should always spend this attack off cooldown, especially on the tiles that are next to you. So you should always try to climb all the yellow attacks that are close to you without moving, because it has a rather big radius or range to use it on. That's it. So just have to aim which tile to claim, and that's doing its job then. Important part is there will be some chess pieces spawning. And those chess pieces will spawn where I put the markers now. So on those 4 tiles that are on the backward end of this arena. And those chess pieces will slowly move towards us. Or not towards us, but they will slowly move towards the other side of the arena. So all 4 tiles, they will move through. And then when they reach the end, like in normal chess, so to say, if they reach the end, they will transform and will become stronger and will be actually able to come towards us and actually deal damage and stuff like that. There, for those, you need the second attack, which is the Dispel. The Dispel is an attack that is pretty, so to say, important because it allows you to remove the invulnerability of those chess pieces. Normally, those chess pieces are just invulnerable and they move towards us. But if you remove it with the Dispel, which is again a special action key, you should just put it on the enemies whenever they move and remove their yellow shield. That's it. And then people can damage them. Normally, you don't really care. They just move towards you. When they get close enough, you cleave them down. Everything is fine. But as soon as some of them will reach the end, so the border where the arena ends, that is not a big deal on its own, but as soon as they come towards us, they will also claim the fields again. They will claim the fields in a negative way. So they will not make them, so to say, friendly, but they will remove the nice attack, so to say, for us. So they will make it damaging again. So from not yellow to yellow again. That's why claim needs to be careful when there is a mob spawning and coming towards us and coming towards our tile. They will claim it and we will receive the AoE damage again. Therefore, you have to claim it for yourself again. So this is always this, like, I don't know, people have to compete against the NPCs claiming the board. And this spell is really important here because the spell lets you damage those mobs. Otherwise, they will just continue to do so and will annoy you. If you kill them, they will despawn and everything is fine. Just keep in mind when they despawn, and then they will deal a big explosion. And this big explosion can be a bit nasty because it does a lot of damage. But if you have healers and stuff and you can dodge it, of course, then everything is fine. Just be a bit aware of it. If that happens, don't panic. Just stand on top of the healers. If you can avoid the explosion, even better. But if you trust your healers, that's fine as well. And the last attack is Protect. And Protect is the one that is the least important one in a lot of cases, if you have a decent group, but it can be the saving grace. If you have one person doing the Protect at the right timing, that can be the savior for the whole party. So it has a very long cooldown in comparison to the other two, 600 seconds or something, so I typically don't use it like more than once in a fight. And it will put down a protective bubble, pretty similar to a Sanctuary on Guardian if you saw that skill. And in this region, you will not receive any damage, and which is really important because it can also disable the one-shot that this boss will be able to do. Exactly, it looks like something like this. And when you stand in this, you will be able to not get one-shot by these spikes, which is the only attack that is, so to say, added on top of those three mechanics. So you can see there are holes in the floor, and those holes will frequently happen to have spikes. And those spikes will, after I think like 3 or 5 seconds, something in this regime, you will get some kind of spikes that will damage you and instantly one-shot you. No downstat, instantly kill you. But if you stand in the Protect bubble, you will be completely immune to this attack. However, this is not the way that you are supposed to deal with this. It's just more like a panic button, the Protect, because you can only do it once. Those spikes spawn every, I don't know, half a minute, every minute, something like that. I don't know the exact timer, but something like this. So this will happen pretty frequently, and the Protect can only save you once. Normally, you just move out of the tiles where the spikes spawn. They are not always everywhere. So there is a specific pattern to this. Just either stand where I'm standing or keep your eyes open and see, oh, there are spikes on this tile. I don't want to stand here. And I move to a tile where there are no spikes. This is just a little bit of common sense and you will understand this. Important part here is the spikes are deadly. Instant one shot. The yellow fields deal damage over time. So always prefer to go in the yellow fields, even if you know there is no healer around, over standing in the spikes. Because if you stand in the spikes, you will guarantee to be dead. In the yellow attacks, you will get some damage, you can heal yourself, you can dodge and stuff like that. But always keep that in mind. In an ideal case, the people or the person with the claim, it's just one person, will claim on a field without spikes so that we can move there. But this is just in an ideal case. In the later phases, this can be a bit chaotic. So those 4 mechanics. We have the spikes to avoid. We have the claim to claim the yellow fields to not become yellow anymore. We have the spells to remove the shields from the enemies, which you can do by targeting them and using the special action key. And then you have Protect, which puts down the bubble that gives us 1, so to say, extra life for everyone standing in there. Are there any questions? So the spikes, you will see that they are they will spawn, and you will see, so to say, the tip of their spikes like happening under your feet, depending if you're standing in a tile or not. And so it's, so to say, it's charging the spikes. You will see that happening. It's like the tip is already looking out of the floor, and then you have like, I don't know, 3 seconds, something like that, to move out of the tile. There is no other marker to this. So keeping your eyes open or trusting your commander to follow. That's the 2 options that you have. it's pretty visible. I think there are a lot of attacks that are with visual clutter a bit annoying, but I think this attack is pretty easy to spot. Yeah, and I will also call it. So if you fear that you will die. Yeah, good point. Typically you stack on top of each other, so it doesn't matter. So everyone will stand on the same spot, but it's a good point, Patricia. So for the people in stream, the protect person will actually attract the scouts, so the chess pieces coming towards you, which can be a good thing. So if you know they will explode, if your party is struggling, you can move out of the group to pull them a bit away. But this is a really advanced tactic, and typically you're just standing on top of each other and everything is fine. Will not happen in normal mode. In challenge mode, it gets a bit more annoying, sometimes with blue spawn and stuff like that. But that's why we do normal mode, and that's why I really want to stress here, if you never did protect, dispel or claim, now is your chance to try. So, sure. So you should always use this attack off cooldown typically, because it has a rather short cooldown and you can damage then from range as well. Some people have range attacks, sometimes you even can tap Epidemic or stuff to damage them beforehand, and then they just get slowed, for example, and will never reach the end. So always use it off cooldown. But of course, if you see there is one coming towards you, this is priority. This is always the priority target then, yeah. And the important part I forgot to mention here is the fight starts as soon as all of those 3 special action keys are picked up. So typically you want to always have the claim being picked up first, because this is where the actual boss gets tanked, and you don't want to move the boss possibly at all, but as little as possible. So you typically stand here, where I'm currently standing, and the boss will almost never move. And when, so to say, here on the tile that I'm currently at are spikes spawning, I just move like a little bit to the left or to the right, and I move back. That's the only 2, so to say, tiles that I need if I have a decently high DPS group. We might need more because that's just a training, that's normal. Then we move somewhere else, but typically you don't really want to move too much because you don't need to. That's why claim is the starting thing, and the other 2, one of the person is the last one and has to run to the group, because then the fight instantly starts. So there is a time limit for this boss, like for almost all challenge or for almost all raid bosses, but it's insanely high. And I think even the enrage timer might not be an instant kill. I have to be honest, I never got to this. So I don't even know what happens at enrage. Like typically people die to the spikes and then we just GG. But if that's not, I don't know. I just don't worry about it. That's my comment on the timer. Yeah. So, if there are no further questions, are there any volunteers? Don't be shy, really. It's not a problem if you do a mistake. It's normal. It's like a normal training. No one cares if you did a mistake. It's actually good because then you learn. Nice. Potent master maintenance oil. Thanks. Thank you very much. I would love to do the spell, but first time here. No worries. Just do it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I mean, you can, whatever you want to do, pick it, and just keep in mind that the claim should be picked first. Yeah. Yeah. Then Stu, you do the claim and move where I'm standing. Just always move where I'm standing and everything is fine. You know, just you see the special action key now. If you want, you can even ping it in the squad. Oh, we already started. Okay, I guess we are all ready now. So that's fine. You now can claim the fields to the right. That's perfect. Very good. And you can see that the Shade scouts will slowly start moving at some point. And when that happens, we should be able. That's the spikes, by the way, on the right side. Not yet where we are, just where you can see them. Yeah, very good, very good. Everything fine. You can see claim now the right side because the Shade Scout moved in there. That means that it claimed the tile and we just want to be able, perfect. Just always use it off cooldown. That's the comment that I can give you there. And it will now claim our field, but we will also get the spikes very soon. And you can see how easy this boss is. It's really like literally the first 50%, nothing happens. Like essentially nothing in normal mode. Please dispel the Jade Scout here, if you can. Very good. Now the spikes will spawn to the right. We just stay here. The spikes pattern is not always the same. So for now, we just ignore everything and nothing happened. Now it's the first time that the Jade soldiers come in. Now we move as well because we got the spikes. Everyone here, everyone here, everyone here. You will die. That's not good, but it's fine. Try to dispel and claim the field. So perfect, everything fine. We will maybe reset it just that we get some, see it how it goes, but we can also like let's go for a bit longer. But you see the mechanics here, and you will get now some spikes again. We move. Please dispel the. Everyone move exactly. Please dispel the field. Always the field that we are standing in, we should dispel. Okay, we move again because the spikes are spawning. You can see this fight is not hard. It has 3 mechanics. So we will now GG, please, everyone, because we want to actually reset and make the fight a little bit cleaner. But did you see the people that had the claim, the people that had the dispel, how it worked, how it functions? Do you fully understand the attack? Because if not, just ask. It's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. You know, the dispel part is probably one of the hardest parts in the whole fight because you have to switch targets all the time. Everyone else is just like fully locked in on the boss. That's pretty much it. But if you get actually like the dispel, you have to like think a bit. But next time, like I said, please, the dispel person, for example, takes it last after we did the ready check because it instantly activates the fight, and we just want to make sure that everyone is ready. I think everyone was ready, but still. No, don't worry, no. Don't worry. It doesn't really matter if you did a mistake here. And if someone else wants to try, we can of course switch around. But it really is not a big issue. Like, yeah, we could probably even have gone for the kill. I just didn't want to have the first try being chaotic and most people maybe not even fully understanding the boss. Just want to make sure that so to say, most people can say, now I know how to do Morsad Overseer at the end. Not just like, okay, we got the boss kill. Yeah. If there are no more questions, then I guess we can go for another round with the same setup. Not yet, because it was... Yeah, if you want, just try it, yeah. And it will start the fight. Just wait before everyone gets a ready check so that we are fine. And as soon as the ready check goes through. Welcome, Blessed. Welcome, welcome. And welcome, Cassandra. Welcome, welcome. Okay, there we go. That's now how you start, and everything is fine. That's exactly how you do it. And instantly, exactly, you the claim, and you just use the claim of cooldown. If you see there is a Jade Scout about to claim a field that is next to us, then of course keep it. You don't want to waste it, so to say, on a field that is nowhere close to us. But that's why I said Chronomancer is so good here, because Chronomancer has shorter cooldowns than every other class. It's just a small fraction, but it can actually give you a little bit of an advantage. Very good. Perfect dispels, perfect claims. I like it. Very nice. Just if you have the claim, just try not to move, because the boss is completely stationary if you don't move either. It's not a big deal here. Just people, especially in more tryhard groups, people will definitely not like it if you move the boss, because it's essentially a golem. It is really the most golem boss out there. Okay. And we will get the first spikes. Okay, nothing happened. The spikes are again not where we are. Very good. I would also recommend, if you are unsure, if you are on your tile, go a bit more to the middle of the tile, of the center of the tile. Very good. Please claim, and please... okay, we move a bit because we don't want to stand in the yellow for too long. Also, we have the spikes on us. Very good. That was the explosion. That's why you should be a bit careful here. Good protect. But we lost some people, but should have the spike here. Please move to the attack with no spikes. Very good. And I guess we also lost the Patricia, so please GG. You can see that gets a bit messy if there are too many Jade Scouts coming in all at once and you cannot dispel all of them. And especially because they will, each of them will claim the arena. Yeah. So it's quite important that you have to deal with the ads and you have to do the claim at the right time, or just essentially when everything is on top of you and then you claim, then they will not declaim it again. But the first 40% were completely fine, but then we got so many like ads through that it gets a little bit, I would say, overwhelming. But like I said, don't worry, it's a training. If I and someone else that is experienced would do the attacks, we would instantly get the kill, because it's really, it's just a golem at this point. That's why you need to train it to actually get the understanding, and then you can make it a golem for everyone else as well. So the dispel has a cooldown, so you should always try to use it as soon as you have a cooldown, but you should also look at the ads that spawn. If they have a yellow shield, it's really clearly visible in my opinion. It's a really big yellow shield. That means that they're invulnerable. And as soon as you see an ad that is rather close to you, even running towards you, and you have the spell of cooldown, you use it on this ad. That's pretty much it. Does that make sense? Yes, when they are dead, so to say, have 0% of their health, they don't instantly despawn, but they go in, so to say, explode form and will explode. And in this like 2 seconds or whatever it is, they will be invulnerable, but they are already dead. They just do their last, so to say, attack, which is a big explosion and does a lot of damage and nasty conditions. So that's why I said, if you really have an eye for it, you can dodge this attack or you can block it and stuff like that. But typically I would say, try to just trust your healers, and if you can see the attack happening, dodge it, but don't stress too much about it. It will happen at some point. So this is what you probably meant with the invulnerable. That is what happens sometimes. But if they have a yellow shield, remove it with the spell, and everything should be good. And yeah, exactly. And the important part is the protect you can of course use when you think it's like, oh my god, we are all dying, because it gives you some invulnerability to everyone. So that's good. But of course, typically you save it for the last 25% when everything gets a little bit, I would say, chaotic typically, because then spikes appear and you have to get the claims and the ads going and stuff like that. In challenge mode, it gets way more important that you keep the protect until the last moment where you really need it and don't waste it on an attack where you didn't need it. But we are not doing challenge mode, so if you're doing protect, just use it when you feel like it's getting heated the moment. Don't worry, protect is in normal mode the one that is the least important. So, exactly. So if there are some volunteers that never did it, or you want to stick with it, whatever, just take the protect or the spells. Exactly, we need one more for the spell, and then we can do it once again if everyone is ready. If the person with the spell, claim, or protect is not that important, but the spell or claim dies during a fight, you can reclaim the claim or the spell at their original locations. That sometimes happens, can be sometimes important. Is it like not that important right now? But okay, everyone ready? Let's try it once more. But like I said, this is not a tough fight, and don't stress too much. Just focus on your special action keys. DPS is not important in this fight. You can see we have 6 minutes for this boss fight. We didn't even need half of that. It's completely fine. Just focus on the mechanics, focus on the ads. Be careful with using a hammer 3. You will not want to go in the spikes. And there we go. Claim the attack. Perfect, perfect. You can also, if you have trouble with the attacks, you can also focus on the ads. They are now vulnerable, so you can also kill the ads, so we don't get them spawning and don't moving that much anymore. That can be worthwhile doing, but it's of course not necessary. That's fine, that's fine. You know, it's not, it's a training, you know, if you have like wrong traits or stuff, that happens. Exactly, it's a training. Move out of if you're standing there. Very good. No spikes on us, so we just stand here and wait. And this is like I said, the first 40% is essentially nothing. Now we have to move, please, out of the spikes. We also will get the claim on us very soon. Wait until both of them are here. Okay, very good. Now we have to claim it again, but it's fine. We will heal through it. Just make sure that we get the reses here. Don't move in the spikes. Don't move in the spikes. Yep, very good, very good. You saved it, but be careful here. we can save that one. We can save that one. Just make sure that we are... Oh, careful, the explosion. Now is the time to protect our guys. If you have protect, you can protect. Okay, you can also protect down bodies. It's not a big deal. I guess we go a bit longer because we now should be able to get the kill if you want. It's not a big deal if someone dies. Maybe it's a bit bad that we lost our healer, but it's... we will see, we will see. Move out of the spikes, please. Yeah, that's why I said protect would be good there. Because you can also save down people. If you... We go for the spikes here. Move a bit to the left, please. Careful. Very good. Careful, we will also get the next Shade Soldier. Very good, the spell. And you can also keep them at the border if you really wanted to, so that they never will get to the actual boss. And you will just ignore the claiming of them. Careful, move to the left here, out of the spikes. You can see it's not a big deal. It's a bit sad that we lost, of course, so many people, but I think we can still get the kill. I want to get to the other bosses as well. And just move out of the spikes. And I think we should be fine here. It's not a big, like a really stressful fight. It's just for 3 people. You have careful, move out of the spikes. Very good. I like it. Sorry for the people that died. Happens, but I think at some point we have to say this is now time to kill. And I really think this is not a tough fight. I hope everyone understands what the mechanics are, because if you do, it's pretty much a golem. Are there any questions? We will resurrect you, but if there are any questions, just ask. And people always ask, is this a power boss? Is this a Condi boss? So Cairn and Mossad Overseer here? Sure, no problem. They are not considered a Condi or power boss typically because they don't have phases. So Condi is actually quite good there, but it's not like power is necessarily bad. So both of them, especially Mossad Overseer, you can play anything. Like any DPS build is good here. I would say on Cairn, Condi or range builds are sometimes a bit more preferred. Typically Condi because the boss teleports around and you can do some damage. Especially Confusion is quite good on Cairn, but on Mossad Overseer you can play anything. So not a big deal. Isn't it worth putting more effort in the Shade statues before they reach other side, especially if low on damage? Yes, it is definitely worthwhile to focus on them, especially if you have Epidemic, if you want to make sure that the party doesn't like get the transformation and the big mob spawning that explode then. But you can see it doesn't really matter. The healers can out-heal this, but I would agree, especially if your damage is on the lower side, you would want to focus on the ads a bit more. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understands what happens if they get through, because if everyone deals with the mechanic here perfectly, you will never see half of the mechanics of this fight. So I think now everything should be clear, hopefully. If you have questions, ask. Otherwise, we go to the next one, which is one of my all-time favorite bosses. And it's Matthias. Yeah. Now we're slowly ramping up the difficulty. Don't be scared. It's not that difficult. But we did some. So for the people on stream, we did some other ones last week, some other bosses. So I just wanted to mix it up and have some other fights. So if you're here, we can just already go and get some bandits killed. And other than that, this fight will involve less of individual people's knowledge, more of like teamwork and people interacting to attacks that happens to them. So we'll just kill all of the 24 bandits. It's pretty much like a rather boring pre-event, but you can just kill them and move as a group. You can also split up and move faster if you have thieves and teleport around and stuff like that. But in normal groups, you just kill the bandits and then you have the access to the last boss of this wing. This boss is again Condi favored boss. Why is it Condi favored? Because there's one attack happening in this whole fight. It's not a problem if you play power here. I'm just saying you have to be a bit more careful if you play power here. Because there will be one attack that the boss does every few seconds. Every minute or so, I don't know. And it will sacrifice a player. And this player will become targetable of allies. So you will have, so to say, friendly fire for this person. Which is really, really devastating if you play a power build and you just burst them down. You will kill them within seconds. If you play a Condi build, you have a little bit of a slower ramp-up time, and therefore you will have a bit longer than just 1-2 seconds, and that can be a good tip, but that's the main reason why you play Condi here and not power. if this is happening, so let's say I get sacrificed, that means that everyone in the party should instantly, not the party, the whole squad, should instantly focus on me and not DPS me, really important, but should CC me, because I have a break bar. So you should use all your CC on this person that gets sacrificed. Because if you don't do it in time, you will just instantly kill this person. So it's exactly like in Summerrock. If you did it before, you really want to make sure that this is not gonna happen. Yeah. So quite important, quite important. Other than that, this boss has... Okay, thanks Mastro for pointing it out. Thanks for pointing it out. I don't want to spread misinformation. We have a really good tryhard player here that actually knows exactly what is wrong. Apparently conditions tick harder on you than power damage will. So I guess you have some protection buff on you while you are sacrificed. So this is then not necessarily the important part why you play Condi here. You can play anything, I guess. Just this boss is moving a lot and you cannot stay in melee sometimes because you have to split, you have to do mechanics. So both of those like builds work then apparently. Thanks Master for pointing that out. I never want to spread misinformation, so just wanted to make that clear here. Just didn't know better. That's very good that I got told then. Very good, very good. But yeah, either way, this is one of the most important mechanics because you will lose players if you don't CC. So if you have access to CC, use it on this specific ally that will become an enemy for this time, or save it until next time when the player is already so to say saved from sacrifice. Next, really important attack. You're stuck at entrance. Okay, interesting. Maybe just log out and log back in if that's, maybe that helps. I don't know. Weird. Maybe that's just a bug with the, I don't know, quick play or what it's called. Or quick swap. Sorry, I don't know. Never had that before. Other than that, this boss will spawn some kind of bubble every now and then. And this purplish bubble will make him invulnerable. You can still apply condis to the boss, so that's another reason why this is a good boss to have condis on, but you will need a reflect, specifically a reflect, not a deflect, so not projectile destruction, but you need something that reflects the boss's projectiles back to it. So there are a certain amount of stacks that need to get to the boss, and you can do that. He will shoot some projectiles. In the first 60% of the fight, he will hold his staff like a machine gun and shoot some projectiles, and you have to reflect those projectiles. In the last 40%, he will transform and will be some kind of abomination, and he will jump in the air, and then he will shoot projectiles. So those two are the triggers, so to say, when you have to put down your reflect. The reflect, it's really easy to put down. You just put it on top of him. If you have a feedback like Mesmer, you put it where the boss stands. If you have like a wall of reflection or something that is a bit more straight and not like a bubble or dome, you just put it on top of him so that the attacks get reflected. Really, really important here is that you don't want to use any blocks, any invulnerabilities inside of the boss's hitbox while this reflect is happening, because you can soak the projectiles before they get reflected and you will not get, so to say, the bubble going away. This is a bit of like a Among Us moment. If you see someone blocking the attack or using distortion, that will negate, so to say, your actual knowledge of the mechanics by just someone doesn't knowing the mechanics, and you will have to wait for one more repeat of this attack. So please really make sure don't use blocks inside of the boss's hitbox. That's the most important part. Other than that, this boss has an auto attack. It has an attack that just throws a rock at you or something like that. Hadouken it's called. That hits quite hard. So try to sidestep that if you see the boss channeling like a Revenant's Staff 3 attack that looks a little bit like it, stuff like that. Or when the boss does some kind of like jump and like move like vault on Staff 5 on Thief, something like that. If it does that, it shoots some projectiles. Yeah, if you have the same problem, you should do it again, but I'm not sure. Maybe we have to all get... Did it work? Can you move now? I don't know. Weird problem. Never had that before. I mean, if you cannot move and it worked now for you that you can like go out of the instance and go back in and it worked, then it's fine. Yeah. Then do that. Just log out and log back in. I don't know. Weird. I have no clue. You don't know where to go. Okay. maybe someone that knows where to go can catch up and I can explain some more stuff. Or you can also slash GG. Good point. Slash GG brings you here way faster. Good point. Good point. Good point. Okay, so I was explaining the attacks of the boss. So you have an auto attack, you have some other attacks that the boss does, like some shards that are fired out when it jumps in the air and stuff like that. Just try to stand where I'm standing and try to dodge attacks that look dangerous. I'm sorry, I cannot explain it more because there are quite a lot of attacks that the boss does. In general, it's a bit power crap. You can't just heal through everything. There are two really main important parts in this thing. So you can see there are 4 fountains. I will mark them with the markers, the 4 different markers. And those fountains are really, really important because they will cleanse you from your corruption. The corruption is a mechanic that lets you specifically, if you get this attack on you, have some yellow circle on you and you will just be corrupted, and this is something that you need to cleanse. And you can cleanse it only by walking in one of those fountains when they are clean. You see right now, this one here next to us is clean. It has a blue water, looks nice. If you walk into that while you are corrupted, you will lose your corruption, but you will make this fountain dirty or corrupted. And it will look completely different, like reddish, darkish, yeah? And that will stay there for a while. It will not stay forever. I think it goes away after a while. But typically you should always, if you see that you have corruption, you should go and look, okay, which fountain is next to me that is not corrupted, and I move towards that to cleanse it. This has priority. The only thing that has more priority is typically, I would say, CC. If there is like someone getting sacrificed, use your CC and move, or maybe do both at the same time. That's the best. And that's pretty much the first mechanic. The hard part about this mechanic is now that it can be easily confused with the second mechanic, which is called your special action key. And this special action key makes you have pretty similar to Slothosaur puddle that you drop as soon as you use the special action key. And this puddle is pretty damaging, and you don't want to put it in the middle of the arena. It's not as bad as in Slothosaur because it will not expand as like much and stuff like that, but it still does damage and you get it quite frequently. So the important part here is never ever drop a puddle, so your special action key, in a fountain, because the fountains will save you from corruption. If there is a puddle in there, it will damage the person going in there. It's not that it's not working anymore, but it's just unnecessary. So how do you deal with it? If you get the special action key, you move to the border of the arena, like here, and put the special action key down. And then maybe dodge out of the special action key or block or just move out of it. It's not like insane damage, you just move out. And then it's fine, you go back to the party. And just make sure that you are never like putting it here. So you're just putting it somewhere here. It's not a big radius and everything is fine. Never in the fountain and never directly next to it. So those two are the really most important aspects. Everything else in this fight is, it does some damage, it does some conditions to you, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. If you have the special action key, it says some text or something, move out of the arena and put it down. If you get corrupted and you see a yellow circle around you, that is specifically also telling you you are corrupted or something, like in white like font in the middle of your screen. That only is for you. You go to one of the clear, nice bluish fountains. Yeah, exactly. And as Snorter points out, this is something that is exactly like for Sloth. It will auto drop after some time. So I think it's 8 seconds here. That means that you should be rather fast. If you get the special action key, please move out as soon as you see it and drop it as soon as you're at the border. You don't want to either like wait it out and drop it randomly somewhere where you are standing, or even worse, if you go down, it will instantly drop it as well. And then you will be way harder to rest because you're lying in a damaging field and no one else actually wants to be in there. So make sure to move out of the group, and also make sure if you are in chat and in the training Discord here, tell me you are needing heals or something, then I will heal you so that you can actually like move out without going down. So stuff like that. But in general, this sounds all very complicated and stuff like that. It's not. It's really not. Just look out. If you get a special action key, move out. If you have the corrupt mechanic, like a yellow circle around you, move out. Other than that, this boss has a lot of different attacks and has some tornadoes that spawn, has some ads that spawn and run through the group. Pretty much everything does damage. It applies condis, it does damage, it knocks you down. You just deal with it as a healer. You provide cleanses, heals, barrier, stability, you dodge the attacks, the usual. just don't get confused. The main things are 3 parts. You really want to, or 4 parts. You want to get the CC down. If your ally gets sacrificed, really easy to see. It's standing exactly in the middle, the Bloodstone, and you will just CC the person in the Bloodstone. That's pretty much it. You want to move out with the Corrupt mechanic if you get a yellow circle. You want to put down the special action key if you get it on the border, not in the fountain. And you want to use a Reflect. I will do that here. When the boss does the thing, I will also tell you exactly when I put it down so that you also see when it should be put down. I don't want to make you as trainees stressed and say, oh my god, I need to take care of the Reflect. There are so many things to take care in this fight as a new player. It's not a big deal. Just keep in mind. Yeah. Just keep in mind that when I tell you to put it down, that would be the time to put down a Reflect. So, are there any questions? I put a lot of stuff on you right now. That is a good point. Good point. I never like mentioned it because I always forget that this exists, but it's a good point. There is a mastery. Yes. Affliction. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It needs 3 mastery points and plus the 2 before that. It's actually not that hard to come by, and it's actually pretty useless aside from this raid. But yeah, if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. If you can level it, would be good, but if not, then I just try to out heal it because the corruption mechanic is not necessarily the one that kills us. Yeah, so we will try if that will be a reason. Yeah. Don't worry, okay, okay. We should have probably mentioned that before we started this boss, but it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, okay. So, are there any other questions? Because it's just dealing damage, that's pretty much it. If not, I will just say we try. Yes. Not necessarily. If I die, we have to reset anyway, so it's fine. So we run in, we will get typically the bubble first. You see pinkish reddish bubble. Now he puts his staff down, I will reflect. You see this is perfectly fine. And now we get the actual boss out. You can see this is the Hadouken attack. It does pretty nasty damage. Very good. This is the corruption. No, wait, this is the corruption. Yeah, you did it. You did good. You get the first CC here. Please CC our Scourge. And everything should be fine. Very good. And other than that, we just kill the boss here. And just make sure to stack on top of each other. The boss is a bit weird because it moves always to the furthest away player. That's the tank. Someone has corruption. Try to move out if you have the corruption. I put down the reflect because it's Pippin if you can. You can move to the square. Should be good, should be good. And give you some resistance. And other than that, someone has the special action key. Try to not, exactly, very good. Try to not put it down. Very good. That's a bit close to comfort, I would say, but it's okay. It's okay. Try to get the CC down. And we have the corruption. Oh, that was very close as well, but everyone is still alive. Very good. Very good. I will put down the reflect now. Just that you know, I'm always telling you that. Ooh, that is a bit of a dangerous special action key. It's okay, we can avoid it, but please try to not use that there. I will try to heal you. Maybe I can get the res. Maybe. Nice. Someone used it. Bit messy. It's fine. Maybe we can get the res here. There will be a split mechanic happening. Okay, we need to CC Patricia if you can. Oh, that was close. I think we have to reset here, please. This is not good. We don't want to lose our healer. But you saw a lot of mechanics, and you can see the special action keys is what kills us. If you put down special action keys in random places, I know some people got downed. That's not necessarily your fault then. But in general, if you see special action key, instant move out. This is the most important part. And other than that, you saw we had some splitting mechanics as usual. This is something that happens in almost every boss fight. If everyone or almost everyone gets like some orange circle, move away from each other so that we just don't damage each other. That's pretty much it. Glad to hear that, little bear. Glad to hear that. But yeah, so this boss is always chaotic. This is the whole design of this boss fight. It's about having a lot of attacks, a lot of mechanics to deal with at the same time. It's chaotic by design, and don't worry about it if we don't like get too far here or if we just are stuck on it. It's okay. We will go for like half an hour more or something. And if you have any questions, just ask. This is a boss that is not as easy as Mossad Overseer and Cairn. Just straight up. And one of the really good classes here is, for example, Thief is extremely good because of Basilisk Venom. It has an instant or almost instant really good CC for its party members, so that can be really good. Other than that, like Moa is of course really good for Mesmers. I would say Scourge is extremely good here because you have Barrier, you have Condi Cleanses, it doesn't matter which build you play, you have a lot of CC with Flash Golem, so Scourge is really good. There are a lot of classes that are really good. I think Dragon Hunter, you have to be really careful. You don't want to put down your traps in the middle of the arena because you will kill our friend with the traps. Other than that, I think like, oh, wait, we lost our, don't go in, we lost someone. Yeah, no problem. No problem, happens, yeah. So we're waiting. And in general, it's like, you really want to take care of like, you can see if someone is afflicted with corruption and you can see if someone has the special action key. But always, if you see you have it yourself, take care of yourself. You are the trainees here, you don't have to look at other people. Just try to look at yourself and your own screen. If you see something is acting weird, maybe think about moving out of the group. That's pretty much the whole thing. And like I said, it's really, really important. Everyone should focus on CCing our friends because this is exactly what we die to. If like a lot of people get CC'd or not CC'd rather, so sacrificed, we just have to reset. This is typically what like pack groups die to because a lot of people greed for DPS and think, oh, there's someone else with CC. No, focus on CCing. It doesn't matter if you are top 1 DPS or if you are second place or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just make sure we get this done and no one dies. Okay, let's try it once more. Was not that bad first try. And I will try to shout call again. And should be fine. Again, we start with the projectile reflect here. Try not to block it with any attacks. We got the first corruption on us. We got the Hadouken as well. I try to heal again. Typically you should dodge this Hadouken attack, but it's completely fine if you don't. It's nowadays healer creep is there. I will be sacrificed, so please CC me. Oh, that was very close, but I like it. We got it. Was fine. Careful. There will be very good corruption. And I will do the bubble in 1, 2, 3. No, very good. Someone else did the bubble. Very good. Don't trust my bubbles. That's okay. And at 40% Hadouken. Very good. At 40% the boss will transform. This will not really alter the boss's patterns and stuff for the most part. It will, or at least what you have to take care of. Very good. Nice movement with the special action key. Very good. CC please in the middle. Don't let Chandra die. Very nice CC, very good. Very good. Ooh, that is a bit of a spicy special action key. I will put down the bubble in 1, 2, 3 now. Don't stand in the red AoE if you don't have to. It's not healthy. If you... Ooh, that was a nasty special action key. Try to always like move out of them, of course. Don't have to face tank this boss if you don't need to. Very good. Careful, CC incoming very soon. Just move out if you get the orange AoE. Please don't want to kill me. Okay, we have another CC incoming. Please CC in the middle. Very good. Bubble up. And using the reflect now. So far so good. I like it. Very good. Spread again if you get the spread mechanic. And you can see here the storm clouds going through us, and that's just like the AoEs. There will be fires and ice and a water phase. Doesn't really matter, doesn't change a lot. You just want to avoid the AoEs. That's pretty much it. And other than that, I will try to heal you, give stability. Spread here. Make sure to not stand on top of each other. Very good. So far, so good. I like it. 40%. Now he will transform and get invulnerable. Oh, I will be CC'd. Please do that. Please CC me. There will be a fear incoming. So just that you know, don't stress too much about it. Okay. Very good. So far. Careful. Stack on top of each other. If you have the corruption and don't have the mastery, that's fine. Now he will go up. I will reflect here. This is now a bit of a different animation, but it is essentially the same attack. And we will spread again. Careful, Hadouken will be incoming. Oh my god. 6, that was not a very nice dodge. It's fine, it's fine. We can resurrect each other. Very good, very good. So far, so good. A little bit chaotic now, but it's fine. It's just classic. Try to dodge this if you can. Yeah, are you down? Ooh. Not sure if you can get the rest there. I will try, I will try. No, that's not gonna happen. I will rather heal the others. Sorry, my friends. If you have to corrupt, you're harder to res. That's just baseline what's gonna happen. Careful with the Hadouken. Ooh, bit scary. Wait for the attacks. We will not get any sacrifices anymore, so that's good. But we have to recover here a bit. Maybe we can get you. Maybe. I get the reflect here. That was. You see, we got some of the special action keys now slowly despawn, so that's also good. Careful, Hadouken, dodge this. Okay. So far, so good. Sorry that we lost 3 people, but we could go and try for going for the kill. Let's see how that one goes. Dodge this attack if we can. So far, so good. No more sacrifices means that we can also, like, just don't care about CCs. And try to avoid the running ghosts and stuff like that, because they just deal damage around them. So if you see them, just move out of them. Other than that, just try to stack on top of the healing, on top of your friends, if you don't have any other mechanics. It's a bit sad that I never got any corrupts or special action keys, but okay. I mean, I guess you learn the most here. Very good. Good cliff or banner or whatever. So 7 more %. I think we are fine. We get 1 more reflect here. Now reflecting. Very good. Just don't block the projectiles if you can. That was close, but we did it. Very good. Hadouken. Very good. I like it. Clean execution. Sorry that we lost 3 people, but I think could have been worse, you know. Could have been worse. Good job, everyone. Are there any questions? So you can revive people that are in down stat, but you cannot revive people that are fully dead. And the function gyro also has a, it's a bit weird because you can cast it and you have to cast it in a very, like the resurrection radius is not that big. So you really have to put it on top of the like ally. So that's the only 2 things that I can imagine why it didn't work. But typically it should work, yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's not a fight that is like you will fully understand in the first time, because like I said, I, for example, didn't get any corruption mechanic, I think, in this whole fight. That means that I just got lucky, I guess, but if that happens to one of the trainees, they will not know which attack is actually the important one to look out for. You could see you don't need the mastery necessarily, you can also survive it. But there are a lot of things that come on top of each other. You know, there could be a reflect happening, there could be a CC happening, there could be a corrupt happening, all at the same time, plus some firestorm, plus some ghost or something. So there can be a lot of chaotic things happening, and it's just something that you learn over the course of time. So don't stress too much if you didn't get everything. It was pretty clean, I have to be honest. I saw puck runs with 50k KP, well, not 50k, but 50 KP, and they was way worse. So that's completely fine. Everyone, like, good job here. Like, really nice. I guess we will do one more boss and we will see how far we get. It's Wing 7, the first boss. Is it? Or the second boss, whatever you want to call it. Yes, good call by Snowdrop. Guild Wars 1 anniversary is live, so very nice, very nice. Yeah, Matthias is a really fun boss. I think it's from the core Heart of Thorns bosses, so Wing 1 to Wing 4, I think it's one of the best designed bosses. It's really focused on actual people looking at the boss's attacks, people looking at their screens and not caring too much about what you have to take to deal with, for example, like hand kiting on demos or any other special mechanics. I really like that you just have to focus on the boss. You have to see what is happening. You have to damage the boss. You have to CC. It's a very, in my opinion, honest boss. It's not really like, it's a chaotic boss, yes, but it's an honest boss at that. So I really like this design. I know it's power grab like crazy, and nowadays, like you could see how easy it was to like just out heal almost every attack. Like I'm not sure how many people actually listen to my Hadouken shout call, which meant that you have to dodge. I guess like it didn't matter because we have barrier from the Scourges, we have like healing from me, we have healing from Patricia. It doesn't really matter then. So that's why a bit power grab boss. I would really love to see a challenge mode for that one. But yeah, we will see. So we will now go for Sabian, Cardinal Sabian. I think this is one of the more like easy bosses, but it's a boss that has again a special action key. You can already see it if you got hit by some of the lightnings. Oh, we lost someone. Where did you get down? Not up there. Okay, so we will get you there. But the special action key here is teleporting you. So the special action key does a lot of different things here. It is a 1800 teleport. I will post it here in the squad chat so that you can also read it if you don't have it. It is a teleport instant cast, it is a stun break, and it's a huge CC. So it does all of that at once. Please stay on the border here, don't move into the boss, otherwise you will trigger it. And this is really the most important aspect of this whole fight, is to use this flash discharge, so the special action key that I posted in the squad message, at the right time. So there are, I would say, 2, maybe 3 possibilities how to use this. So first of all, you can use it for damage, which is, I would say, only tryhards should do that. If you don't know what to do and you're first time here, you should keep it if you need a CC. This is the most important part. It does a lot of CC. And the second part is you can use it to reposition. So there will be some tornadoes spawning. You already see them here looking down in the platforms here. Those tornadoes will spawn in every single like phase here. Or at, I think later first, but it will spawn at some point tornadoes. Those smaller white tornadoes. They will launch you in the air and then you will go back down. You can use a glider, you don't have to. You can teleport into those tornadoes and you will get launched up instantly. This is quite important because there will be one shockwave attack of this boss that will happen every now and then. And this shockwave attack, if you get hit by it, you will instantly get downed. Not completely killed, but downed. So if you have the special action key, teleport in a tornado, you will be launched over the shockwave and you will be able to avoid it. You cannot jump the shockwave, but you can, if you have a teleport yourself, teleport above, so to say, or behind the shockwave. That can work. It's a bit of like timing thing that is important there. Typically, for a new player, use the special action key to teleport into a tornado, get launched up, and that is fine. The special action key will happen and charge from time to time yourself, because if you get hit by the boss's attacks, if you get hit by the ads that will spawn, this will charge the special action key. Oh, please don't, please GG here. Don't start the fight, please. I want to explain it first, otherwise this gets a bit messy. And so it will charge over time. Yeah. So this is not something that you can influence that much. It will just, if you get hit by the boss's attacks, by the ads, you will get the special action key. Yeah. No worries, happens all the time that people start this fight. And you can see this like tornadoes already, they launch you up, and that's pretty much it. There will be some orange tornadoes, one really big one and some smaller ones during the ad phases. Those smaller tornadoes that are orange, like they definitely look different. Those ones are white, everything is fine. The orange ones you should avoid at all costs. They kill you, that's not good. Don't move in them, especially the big one. That's pretty much the most important thing of this whole thing. Don't move in the big orange things. That's quite easy. Other than that, this boss is, I would say, pretty straightforward. It does an auto attack and that's pretty much it. Like it does not hurt that much. It will also spawn some ads later that shoot at you and they will immobilize you. So if you have Condy Cleanses, if you have some resistance, that can be very nice. But other than that, Reflex can help to prevent the projectiles, or in the original design, you should teleport to the ads and kill them. But we ignore them. You will see that's not a big deal. You just rotate around the boss and avoid the damaging fields. That's pretty much the whole thing. And there are some mechanics on this boss fight. So first of all, there will be a CC. There will be two different kinds of CC. The first CC is something that will happen in the first 20%, and it will just be a big, fat break bar. And you just have to see this CC this boss. There, it comes really like clutch that you have such a crazy good CC with the special action key. So use that whenever it's up to CC the break bar. Other than that, use of course all your CC that you have, because otherwise the boss will just get a lot of barrier and it's just annoying. Other than that, there will be the really, so to say, not as big like break bar, but it will spawn later, and this recovers. This is one of the rare break bars that recovers very, very fast. So that means that we have to break it at the very small amount of time in the same instance, so to say. And that's where, again, the special action key comes in very helpful. You want to use it at the same time. If like, let's say 9, 10, maybe 8 people and some extra CC use it instantly on the boss will get CC'd. That's why it's so good, even if the break bar is recovering insanely fast. If you use it pretty much at the same time, which you even try to do in pack groups, you will break this break bar. So it's quite important, yeah? It's quite important to actually listen to my shout calls. When I say use the special action key now, use the special action key on the boss. So just teleport inside or next to its hitbox. In pack groups, you typically would ping the mount skill. Yeah, you would just say, okay, use the sky skill now. So something like use this instantly now, something like that. And then there will be the attack happening that will charge up. So it's an attack that the boss will use. It's just like, I will tell you when it happens. It will charge up and cover the whole platform with a instant kills like damage attack. And you can avoid this by going in two bubbles. There will be one bubble on the one side and one bubble on the other side of the platform. Doesn't matter in which one you go. Just go in one of them, especially avoid the big tornado if it's there. Just go to the one that is safe, and you will just don't get any damage when the attack is charged up, and then you go back to the boss. This is pretty much the most important aspects of the fight covered, because like I said, this boss fight doesn't really have that many mechanics. It's really about using the special action key to CC, to use it into the tornado to avoid shockwave. I will shout call everything here. I will at least try to. And other than that, we just blast. This is really like a fight that is pretty straightforward. Damage and CC. That's it. Are there any questions so far? I guess not. I guess not. Then we will just go in and see how it goes. And if we get the kill, good. If not, we will try again. Hydrate. Good idea. Good idea. Okay, so once again, sorry for the failed ready check. Now we should be fine. Like I said, CC is quite important for this fight. If there are any questions, just ask, don't be shy. And like I said, this is one of, I think personally, the easiest fight in Wing 7, but it's mostly because it's power crept. I think before, I don't know. I think Wing 7 is not that hard, so don't be scared if you see a lot of attacks happening and stuff like that. Yeah, typically, it's really like, this is a CC boss. Like, nothing else matters in this fight. CCing is king, and like I said, if there is this one break bar happening, please wait for using the special action key until I tell you so, but I will mention this specifically when it happens as well. The first break bar that will appear here is just use everything, fire everything, so to say. Yes, I spoke about that. I will also call it out, and hopefully you can just follow me and should be fine. Yeah, I think they are sleeping. Maybe it's a little bit laggy for me. Is it just for me? I don't know. Okay, works. Very good. There we go. And this boss is like, there are some tanking mechanics and stuff like that, but in the end you just stick on top of each other. And you see now we got the special action key. We will get the break bar now in like, I don't know, a couple of seconds. And we will just CC and use everything. You will got knocked back, so just should have mentioned that, but you just try to move towards the boss, CC as soon as you can, and there will be a spread mechanic after this. So just try to not stack on top of each other. You can do, like, you don't have to like completely, you can tank some of them, so don't worry too much. But other than that, at 80% the boss will phase, and we will go to the next platform. So not challenging at all. Just move and move and move. Very good. So that was the first phase. That's of course the easiest, but now we just kill the ads here and go to the next platform. Keep a bit track of the tornadoes. So if you never saw them, never used them, now is like the time to see how they work, how they function. Because we will have to use some here. There is the orange one. Please don't use the orange one. Or don't go into it. It will kill you. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate the sub. Thanks a lot. I will concentrate on the boss though, so hope you understand. Oh, we lost someone. That's not good. But we will continue for now, just so that we see a bit more of the mechanics. Now there's the tornadoes. If you stack here, you will not get hit in the air. If you get hit by the tornado, now please use the special action key in the tornado, otherwise you will get down. Ooh. That were a lot of people yet to get hit. And that is the attack. So it has this shockwave telegraphing. I will resurrect you here, but this is really important. That's why I wanted to continue here, so that you actually see how the attacks looks. Now we get the break bar here. I will try to resurrect you. I'm not sure if we can get you. First get the CC and then we will get the res on TB. But the shockwave attack has this, I don't know, how is it called? Like a white glow or something that the boss will get. And then you will have like 1-2 seconds or something before the boss will do the shockwave. So we will spread. Don't go on the down body, please. Very good. You just stack where we are stacking right now, and we should be fine. 60%. This is the tornado shockwave again. Like I said, this is a bit like I will tell you when it's happening, but you have to look for this attack yourself because it's hard to describe. It's this like, I don't know, particle pattern moving outwards from the boss. Something like that. At 60% we will get the phase here. Very good. And we move on. And this is really not a tough fight. Like, in my opinion, this is a fight that is really like focusing on, have you like enough like capability to see the boss with the special action key, or use the special action key to move around. That's pretty much the whole fight. Like, that will not change for the next 60%. So please, if you see this particle pattern happening, it's really hard to describe. Sorry, I'm just not a native speaker. I don't know how to describe that well. But this is some kind of outgoing purple, orange, light orange glow from the boss that will tell you there will be a shockwave in the next 2 seconds. I will try to tell you, but maybe you are not in time to react to that, so I'm sorry for that. Will happen soon again. It always happens every now and then. And that is the pattern. And we will go up with the shockwave. You can also use rebound and some other instant, so to say, resurrection skills can help. And now we have the fast recovering CC. So wait until almost everybody has the break bar. Move out of the big one, please. And if I tell you so, please use CC instantly. We need 2 more people. Now use the special action key, please. If you can. Very good. Everyone used it. Nice. And you can see we have instant cast of the break bar, and it's fine. So this is how the whole fight works. Yet, like, there's one more attack that you will see happening that will be spawning now. Stack on top of me, please. Very important. Very important. Stack on top of me. Okay, very good. We have try-harding here. Very good, I like it. Knowing people that know how to deal with the mechanics. But in general, really stack on top of me if you don't know where to move, and that should be fine. Now again, move in the shockwave. Very good. Now we have more people seeing it. Very good, very good. It's really like, it's hard to explain for me how it looks, but if you see it once, you should be able to see it all the time, how it works. Can we get floor TB? Nope. Okay, that's fine. We have again the CC. If we wait before you use the special action key, please. And we have to wait a bit longer because we have not enough people. Now we can use it, please. CC. Very good. Very clean. I like it. And try to stack on top of each other. You can see this fight is really not that challenging. Like, we lost 2 people, yeah, sure. But it doesn't have that much damage pressure. Now again, stack on top of me the bubble to be safe here. Or if you have some attacks that can negate damage, that's also fine. Very good. Yeah, very nice. I mean, what can I tell? I mean, there is not that much. Just rotate and avoid the big orange AoE tornado. Now we have the normal CC again. That means fire everything CC and just don't get hit by the knockbacks or like the pushdowns, and don't get pushed across the platform. Don't get pushed in the big tornado. It's fine, it's fine. Don't worry. It's not, you can see that this is a training, but like people like don't die that often. It's not that bad. So don't stack on top of each other and we should be fine. Last 8%. Try to stack on top of me and slowly move in like clockwise direction. I think we will get one more of the bubbles. Move to the bubble if you don't have an invulnerability. Oh no, we lost you. That's okay. And there we go. Good job, everyone. Like, very clean. I mean, of course, like Sven carried, but the DPS, I like it. Good job, good job. Yeah, I mean, that is like the fight. Are there any questions about this fight? Because we saw the fight now. I went for the full kill because, to be honest, we're already like almost at 90 minutes in, and I think that's the perfect time to do a training. But are there any questions? Yeah. Really? Okay. Yes, exactly. So it's a bit hard to see in the beginning. I should have mentioned it a bit more, but it's like, so to say, there's a small whitish, I don't know, ring on the floor that tells you when this enemy dies. There will be some kind of like launch pad or something that puts you to the next platform. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole fight. Like, do you see the rings that are indicating either the damaging attacks, the tornadoes, the up launches, stuff like that, or the shockwaves? That's pretty much the whole fight. Yeah. And in challenge mode, that gets a bit more, I don't know, punishing, but it's essentially the same fight. I think it has increased health, and I think it also has more punishing knockbacks, and the resurrection is even harder. And I think the CC needs way more, and you have, instead of the 3 orange like linear attacks that go outside, it will be 5. But it's essentially just like a little bit of a power grab boss. It's not changing anything in the mechanics. Yeah, it's really not bad. Yeah. And like I said, you can see now where we are standing, those platforms around us, those platforms, that you will be able to go there normally in the fight using the teleports of your special action key, and there spawn those wisps. And in the old days, when this boss was first released, you would have one player assigned to kill those ads that spawn here, because they shoot projectiles, they do damage, they immobilize. But nowadays you just reflect and heal through it. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to mention it. If that ever happens and you're like in the last 5%, 3 people survive, maybe it's worthwhile to teleport to actually get the kills there. Just that you know how to deal with it normally. Yeah. So, I mean, perfect. Thanks a lot for joining. It was a really nice run and really clean. I'm proud of you. Good job, everyone. And thanks for the helpers to join out. Really appreciate it as well. No problem. Sure, no problem. Hope to see you around. And yeah, let's go back to the stream. See you. Yeah, that was the training so far. I mean, I will catch up in chat now, but if you have any questions in chat and you were not in the training, just ask, you know. Always happy to to answer questions here as well. You know, I try to explain it. I'm obviously focused on the people in the training, but if you have some other questions or specifically questions to this fight, just ask. I'm always happy to answer it. Maybe I didn't explain it well, stuff like that. Yeah. So thanks, Ditzak. Really appreciate the Prime and glad you enjoy my YouTube videos. Just wanted to mention that. Hi Syrma, do you think Harbinger is good without dagger offhand? On Snorkel Scourge uses Pistol Torch and Scepter, and Harbinger uses Pistol Torch, Scepter, Dagger. So dagger offhand is a good weapon on Necromancer. The thing is, you don't necessarily need it all the time, because dagger offhand, I can show you that, but in general, dagger offhand is a weapon that has essentially two effects. It has a rather bad damaging attack on the 5 skill, and it has a transfer of conditions. So if you are playing a build that needs a lot of condi transfers because you corrupt yourself all the time with like torment and poison and bleeding and stuff like that, then it's good. It's a really good offhand. But some builds don't have that many self conditions inflicted, then it's not that good because the 5 skill is just not worth it. Some builds, however, do that, and then it's good. So for example, Harbinger uses it, and I think that's good. If you don't need that, if you have, for example, Blake's Signet and use that very well, then you don't need the offhand dagger, and it's completely fine. That's my opinion on that. Yeah. Yeah, Kelvin, I mean, the Scrapper right now in the current meta is pretty tough. Like, Scrapper in PvP right now is not the best. Yeah. How far should I get in game before making an oral character? I think you should not, like, have a big, like, thing where you say, now you have to, like, start getting an alt, or you should not get an alt. You should definitely, like, what can I say? An alt character, in my opinion, should be started when you don't want to play the main character anymore, or when you want to try something different. Yeah, you might not want to switch completely to a different character, but maybe want to switch something different. Yeah, so in my opinion, I think if you get to level 80 with one character and you played it a bit, then there is already the right time to switch, I would say. Yeah, that is my opinion. Yeah. Do you think Celestial Healer Conduit will work? Yes, Alpha. That does work. It's not like insanely good, but it's also not bad. It's actually one of the better Celestial Healers out there. Yeah. Welcome, Patricia. Welcome to chat. Could you explain the build you're playing? Why Troubadour, not Chronomancer? So, Landy, first of all, I did not do Adina. And second of all, I played Quickness Heal here, because I think personally Quickness Heal Troubadour is better than Quickness Heal Chronomancer in a lot of cases, especially in a training scenario, because in a training scenario I want to have a lot of healing, a lot of barrier, and a lot of safetiness with my boon application. Chronomancer has a lot of flexibility, like I can double more, stuff like that, but I don't have as much stability, I don't have as much, for example, barrier output. So in my opinion, Chronomancer is good in tryhard groups, is good in people or in groups where you don't need as much healing output. But if you need a lot of healing, I think Troubadour might even be better. And I think we perfectly had people with Alacrity DPS already, so it was just the perfect choice. Yeah, it's just a personal preference here in this specific training scenario. Yeah. So if I want to use the same equipment template for Scourge and Harbinger, it's better not to use it. I would say yes, it's probably better to not use the dagger. Yes, that's probably the dagger on Necromancer is a pretty weak weapon if you don't get the transfer or don't need the transfer. Yes. Welcome, Survival Reaper. Welcome. How you are doing? What is actually going on? What is my role here? Is Power Mechanist any good for raids? Oh yes, Power Mechanist is actually really good. Like especially for people that want to get into raids and are not already like going for challenge modes and stuff like that. Because it's really safe, it's easy to get into, and you can concentrate more on the mechanics. So healing like DPS, Power Mechanist with rifle is really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine, Kelvin. You will get there. Heal Firebrand is good. Heal Firebrand is also good. Like, I'm not saying like specific healers are worse than others. I just like to have something that has a lot of flexibility. Mesmer has that, Guardian has that, and has a lot of healing output. Guardian is a little bit worse in healing output than Troubadour, so I just chose going for Troubadour in this specific case. Nice, I'm good. I'm doing good, Silvari. I'm doing good. How often do training sessions take place? It depends a bit. If we have a lot of people in the training Discord asking for it and we have enough interest, then I will do it. I will not do it if there are like only 3 people asking for it. obviously. I need a full squad. And if that happens, I will do it like every, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe something like that. But we did like in the last 5 days with the 2, so I will now probably take a little bit of a break until the next one. But maybe, who knows, if you join the Discord and everyone asks for it, I mean, I'm always happy to do that. Raid trainings are pretty easy to do, at least for the easy bosses. So if you're interested in that, what are we doing? I guess I'm just playing DPS, you know, always trust them to fill my roles. Quick heal Troubadour is better than Chronomancer and Fractal CMs now? I personally would say so. I think it depends. Like some fights, Chronomancer is insane because it can solo CC stuff, because you have the Continuum split and you can solo CC everything because you can just double up on CC. But if you play Troubadour, you can have a lot of other advantages that other classes might not be able to do. So I personally think like it's very close, and I think both of them have their reason to be played. It's more personal preference than there is like a clear winner, at least for me. Like challenge modes, raids, everything in my opinion is pretty similar. I think we're missing Alacrity, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know at this point. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do more raid trainings, and obviously raid trainings, it doesn't matter if people are on a U or an A. Like this time is way more popular, more people are playing than if I would stream in the morning or something. It's just not fitting. I can stream on the morning and during the weekends for European people, but like even then American people cannot join because that's like in the middle of the night. So yeah, I try to alter my stream schedule to be a bit more like flexible in that regard. But who knows? Like we will see what the future brings. Yeah. Is it worth saving Ascended kit rings because I get many too many from fractals? So I would say like saving them is like completely useless. Like there is almost no reason to save Ascended rings. I would always salvage them. Like always attune them first. That gives you a little bit more rewards, and on average you will get more gold out of than if you would have put, so to say, them directly into the salvage kit. So Ascended rings, instantly salvage if you don't need them anymore, and if you can, attune them first. You should not infuse them though. So this is the thing that you should do here. I should probably also reactivate the DPS. I just noticed. Would be good. There we go. Want to see my DPS, of course. And the quickness uptime is horrible. Like below 66%, that just hurts. That really hurts. Like that's why you should just, when in doubt, play quick DPS. My golden rule of thumb. But it's fine, it's fine. Yeah. So attuning a Ascended ring is, what does it cost? I can tell you after this, but I think it costs like Philosopher's Stones. It costs one of those agonizing essences. The Ascended ring will go in the Mystic Forge. And what is the last piece? What is the last piece? Some Agony +1 infusions. Those 4 items you put in the Mystic Forge, and you will put the normal ring in there. The ring will be, so to say, altered to be attuned, and if you salvage it, you get 2 rolls instead of 1 for the item that drops. So it gives, on average, a little bit more gold than if you would have not attuned it. Which, if you get thousands of rings per year, this is something that is definitely summing up. Yeah. Yeah, it's the +1 infusion. Yes. Love your content, especially PvP focused one. Yeah, glad you like it. More to come. Even though PvP, I have to be honest, like PvP is right now, like if I do PvP content, it feels like no one is watching. Like the PvP scene for Guild Wars 2, I don't want to be a doomer or anything. I like PvP, but it feels like it's so small. It really is. Like it's just a few people that really enjoy it, like you and me, and most people are just like, I never play PvP. I made like a, how is it called, like a poll on my YouTube channel like last week or something, where I asked how many people actually play PvP regularly and stuff like that, and it was like below 10% or something like that were interested. PvP is really like no one cares. Like it's really, PvP is sad. It's not a very active game mode anymore. Really sad. Yeah, I know. Matt, I'm not saying I don't do any PvP videos anymore. I'm just saying don't expect me to do one every week. You know, it's just for me as a content creator, I have to not only do content that I like, I also have to do content that people actually watch. I hope you can understand that. After all, I need to make some money here, otherwise it doesn't like work out for me here. So that is the reason I will try to cater to both parties, but in the end, it is what it is. Yeah, I cannot alter what the development of the community actually turns out to be. Maybe in the future, if there's another game or something else happening with Guild Wars 2, but for now, I think Guild Wars 2 PvP is just a niche game mode and it will not change that much. But yeah, it's a lot of like in-houses and stuff. That is true. It's like the tryhard community is like very small and the casual community is like just so casual that there's not a lot of stuff happening. Well, I guess we can GG for some more magnetite shards. And Patricia is also there. That is true. So we have a few people watching. That's at least there's that, you know, there's that. And like I said, I will do PvP content. It's just not as frequent as I used to do, where I did like 1 or maybe even 2 PvP videos back in the day when I started my channel. That's just like, it's just not as alive anymore. That's the sad truth here. It's still fun though. It's still fun. My problem with PvP content is that I have no idea what is actually happening on my screen. That is a fair point. Like, I know even veteran players don't like a lot of PvP oftentimes because it's just chaotic. You don't know what's actually going on. I can totally understand that. But I think for the people that actually like PvP or people are interested in getting into PvP, I think it's definitely worth it. Like, PvP is such a fun content for like people that actually like PvP in games. I know MMOs are not necessarily a target for PvP because I think like PvP MMOs, they know there are some, but most of them are failing, sadly. So it's just Guild Wars 2 is not made for that. Like it's like a PvE is like the main audience. Like you have over 90% of the players play PvE only. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that not a lot of people are interested in PvP and will never be. But I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future brings? If there's another game, just hand over the Secret Cabal information already. We know that you know. And no comment on that. No, I'm joking. I obviously have no more information than you do have, guys. So don't worry. I'm just saying, if there is ever, and like ArenaNet has, I would say clearly something cooking up that we know from the job postings and stuff. If there is ever another game, maybe we will see some PvP action there, some more that we had with Guild Wars 2. But right now in Guild Wars 2, I never see a crazy amount of influx and investment into PvP anymore. I think that's just not really the whole idea. It's not a cornerstone game mode like World vs. World. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, that's my opinion. That I'm on EU. And it's the same for American. Like it doesn't really matter. For PvP is pretty much similar for EU and NA. Yeah. And play it because I way too new to compete with the veterans. Yeah, I mean, that is a fair point. Like PvP is like so small that you will always have some veterans in your party, and that's not, or in your match. That's not a nice thing. That is definitely a problem. You got a favorite Elementalist build right now? Finally building a human one after being solid for so long? So Elementalist, I have so many builds. Like, I don't know. For me, Elementalist is a class that is even more flexible than Mesmer in the current iteration. I play so many builds right now, of course, because of the power creep and like of Evoker being, so to say, buffed. It's so good, like to play like a quickness Evoker. It's really, really strong right now. But I like to play Tempest. Where is it? Alacrity Heal Tempest. That's probably my favorite one right now. It's just really, really fun. Like Alacrity Heal Tempest. Like, look, I'm pressing now one button and I'm getting like 6 wounds. It's like such a fun build. It really is so fun because it is so easy to upkeep wounds. It is really fun for people that like to press a lot of buttons, and I like to do that, you know, just pressing and swapping attunements and pressing more, and I think that's fun. That's my favorite build right now for Elementalist. Yeah. Yeah, the cornerstone game mode is pretty good. I really like to put that in. Like in all my videos, when I talk about specific game modes, like mentioning cornerstone is like such, it's like really good. Like such a good wording. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, glad, Henry, that you see it like that. Very good. Very good. felt the same way, but it will click from, I promise. It's very addicting and you get better at PvE too because you're developing mechanics and adaptation skills. Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the most important aspects about PvP is that it will help you. First of all, it's very fun. I really have to mention that first. It will help you to enjoy the game for what it is because it's really PvP focused. Like Guild Wars 2 is really PvP focused in terms of design. You have so many things that make PvP very interesting. And I know it's not for everybody, but maybe give it a try if you have never tried it before, because it actually gives some interesting aspects that you never see somewhere else. And you will learn so much about like the whole game. Like you will get so much better in PvE as well, because you can, for example, understand that stowing with your weapon swap or weapon stowing is insanely valuable. You know, I can cast my attack here and stow the attack and it will still play the full animation. This is really good in competitive modes, but even in PvE it can be useful if you see that, for example, oh, this enemy is now dodging or is blocking or whatever, then I stop this attack and I can cast a big hitting attack later. Stuff like that is so crucial to getting better in PvE as well. But you can also, for example, cast attacks while you run away from something. This is really good in PvP, of course, but you can also do that in PvE. Stuff like that is really like, there are so many things that you learn from trying to get better in PvP and noticing it's actually helping in PvE as well. Welcome, Haldir. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I'm German. I am German. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, there are boons to understand that it's not always about boons having permanently up, but you can understand the value of protection way more than in PvE, where you might think, okay, protection is always up because I have a certain healer. But in PvP, you can actually understand, oh, I didn't have protection, that's why I died to this burst attack. But if I would have protection, I would have survived. Stuff like that is so important. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are so many transferable skills that you can earn, not only in PvP. The same goes for World versus World. Like imagine, this is the Zerg. Like imagine those heavy golems here are the Zerg. If you are understanding how, so to say, to avoid those certain attacks and to understand how to move, you don't even have to dodge. You know, if this is, so to say, charging towards me, the whole Zerg, and I just move in this direction, instead of running away from them, because they charge in this direction, I will just get hit. This is basic, so to say, game knowledge, but in PvE you don't really care about that. But if you get into World versus World and you want to get better and notice that you die all the time, and you just move a little bit in this direction, and you can use this positioning knowledge that you learn from World versus World in, so to say, other game modes, especially in PvE, you will notice that a bone scanner will become from a boss that you have to dodge all the time to a boss where you have never to dodge at all. This is, so to say, really important to understand that positioning, dodging, boons, using weapon stows, using a lot of attacks that are PvP-centric, World versus World-centric by design, but applying them in PvE makes you, so to say, a god gamer in PvE. It's crazy, yeah. Stowing helps in multi-skill queuing? Yes. So some attacks have an aftercast and you can decrease or completely negate the aftercast of attacks if you do the weapon stowing. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. What's a good beginner PvP class? I think it depends. I always mention that you should play a class that you're comfortable with. You know, for example, if I say, I don't know, Condition Reaper right now or Condition Evoker is really easy and really good right now. Just saying, for example, Evoker is really good right now and it's easy to start, but you hate Elementalist and you never played it, then for you it is not a good starting class. So it's always a bit dependent on which player you are, which, so to say, game style you enjoy. So I personally would always say, play the class that you like the most and find a meta build that is just commonly played. Yeah. So for example, on Meta Battle, or look, for example, on my YouTube channel in my monthly IT summary, stuff like that, and find a build that is played. And then you play this one. But if you have no preference, I would say right now, support Paragon if you want to play support. If you want to play side node, probably Carrion Evoker or something like this. Sage Evoker is really good. And if you want to play like a team fighter, probably some kind of like Reaper might be okay to get into, stuff like that. Yeah, but this is just like play a build that you like. PvP is more about getting better at the game, getting better at your build, than playing a build that is like better than every other build. Because it's always, skill is way more important. You know, if I play an off-meta build and I'm in Platinum and you are in Bronze, it doesn't matter which build you play, I will win. I'm not joking here. This is not something that I'm boasting here. It's just by nature. Guild Wars 2 is so skill-based. If someone is in a higher league than me, then they will beat me. It doesn't not really matter which build they are playing. The training was good. We actually killed almost every boss in the first try. It was really clean. Really, really clean. Yeah. Yeah, Amalgam is big. Willbender is big. There are so many things that are really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. It's like, you should try to get better, try to have fun while getting better, and don't focus too much on the builds that you are playing. Try to find a build that makes sense, but don't focus and say, okay, this is the build that in monthly AT that won the monthly AT. I have to play that one, even though I don't like it at all. This is not working out in the long run. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, exactly. There are a lot of things to consider about PvP. It's a really nice game mode, but I can definitely understand it is not for everyone. I play like 1 match PvP per day or something, just because I like to have some fun. I like to have some just engagement, but I probably would completely like lose my mind if I would have to do a 3-hour PvP only stream, because it's just the community is so small, and you have sometimes just like literal people that are botting, or that just, it's just a very small community. And if you know, if I'm in Platinum, you know, I don't even know where I am. So I'm currently, I'm in Platinum. So if I'm in Platinum and I'm getting another Platinum player in the enemy team, and I have 1 Bronze player in my team, and the enemy team consists only out of Silver players plus this 1 Platinum player, this can be a very, very frustrating game. Not only for me, but also for the player that is in Bronze. That's just the matchmaking, trolling, and all of us. And it can't really do anything else because we don't have enough population to support it. So this is something that can be very frustrating. And if you do like 12 matches in a row, that can completely like fuck you up. So in my opinion, PvP is nice and fun if you do it casually. But if you go really try hard and only play PvP and want to get like the highest ranking and stuff like that, that is, you need some crazy mental for that. Yeah. 8-hour PvP stream as next sub call. That would be my last stream probably. If you want it, I mean, we can do that as a sub call. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that is just my take here. But either way, I think that was like the stream so far. I hope you enjoyed it. Not that long stream today, but we had some fun in the training. Hopefully you had as well watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. Either way. And check out my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Wish you all a very nice evening, nice week, nice rest of the week, and hope to see you on Saturday. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. See you around. Exactly, Snowdrop. Take care.